Okay, bit too intense, maybe. And we are live. Hi, everyone. Hi, Void. Jesus! Illness and a break. I am so sorry, everyone. I was gone for 2 weeks. At least my VODs are up to date now. And thank God for that, because I had to rewatch the previous VOD to make sure that I knew everything that has happened last time. Because, man, a lot has happened. But we still need to finish it. I want to finish it, dang it! Ugh. No way in heck do I finish this before February ends, so we're just gonna continue this on in February. Again, my apologies for the horrible inconveniences I caused you guys. But, you can't really fight illness. And the mountains always beckon. Okay. Since it's clearly a void today, and a new follow. Thanks for the follow. Let's just continue and see what will happen. I know Raz has his affiliate anniversary today. So yeah, happy affiliate anniversary for him. Maybe after this we can actually rate him. Just rating with 0 viewers. Awesome. Okay. Let's just continue. I missed this game way too much. I'm impatient. Alrighty! March 29, 10:12 a.m. Prison yard. Ah, Edgeworth. There you are. Ah, it's been so long. Here we are again. Let's hope we can find something this time that will finally reveal the truth behind it all. Although, that might be easier said than done. There's nothing left to investigate! Oh, that's right! The whole stage is gone! Judge Cavell's deduction yesterday. Yeah. There is another possibility. One you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop. At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint? Had Knight's body really been thrown down the well? The answer to that question will surely show us the way forward. But before we begin, I should tidy up my organizer a little. Okay, unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Okay. Okay, so the bell and stuff is important. Do I see like a secret compartment or something? No, I don't see it. Autopsy report. Spreading correspondence chest. 3-hour gap. Okay. Yes. Not a lot of evidence left. Let's see here. Huh, there's a cover on it. It's right up well slap bang in the middle of a prison? Figures it'd be locked. Well, luckily, I'm a master lockpicker. Want me to do my stuff? I think not. We'll do this investigation by the book. Come on, don't be such a stick in the mud. Whoa! What is it, Kay? The lock's broken. From the looks of it. It's been broken for a long time. A long time? That's the case. And anyone could have thrown Knight's body down the well. Ugh, that does not look good. Judge Cavell's theory was that Mr. Saint carried out the murder here in the yard. And then, during the performance, he threw the body down the well. What are you thinking, Miles Areno? Plausible or no? Oh! Why don't we see if Missile can help us out again? He'll be able to tell us if Mr. Knight's body was here, and which way it went. Good idea. I'll call Detective Gumshoe. Oh my gosh, he has his phone. Gumshoe speaking. Gumshoe, hello! Oh my god. It's been 2 weeks. Detective, I need your assistance. Come to the prison yard and bring Missile with you. You bet, sir. Gumshoe summons secret weapons to the rescue again, huh? fairly sure missile belongs to the precinct. Opal Phoenix! Welcome to the stream and thank you for resubscribing! 3 months now! Whoop whoop! I'm so glad to be back. Thank you. I got a bit quiet around here. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. I'd also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Good morning, welcome back. Thank you. Illness is a B. But I needed that break. The mountain air is really good for your throat. But not so good for the nose. It is very dry air up there. Okay, continuing. I'd also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Berry Big Circus and ask Miss Regina Berry to come down here with you. Yes, sir! I'll be there before you know it. So, what shall we do while we're waiting for Gummy? How about a quick game of hide and go seek? What idea, kiddo? Where exactly would we hide? He's not seriously considering it. You'll be surprised. Your game can wait, Kay. We need to call on one of your more practical skills. I think you know the one. Oh, you bet I do! One crime scene recreation coming right up! Say what now? Let me show you! Introducing a great thief's great secret weapon! Little Thief! Yes! Little Thief! Finally! Whoa! Screens appearing from thin air! This is some next level tech, little sis! Wanna talk me through the deeds? What are you doing now? I'm inputting everything we need for the simulation! Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief. It's a device that can recreate crime scenes at specific moments in time, based on the data you feed it. How about I start us off with a recreation of what the yard looked like yesterday? Good idea. That was when they were in the middle of tearing down the stage. We didn't pay much attention to the wall then. Who knows? We may have overlooked something. I was so frustrated that they didn't examine the well. Leave it to me. I'll use the photo I took. Beep 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 boop beep. That's all the data. Just gotta pump the projection power to max and dark skies of evil. When no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Yes! Yikes! What is this? It's a recreation of how things were yesterday, modeled on the data I gave Little Thief. This gadget was a tool used by the original Yatagarasu, but they used it to plan robberies. Well, there's no harm in using it for something on the right side of the law now. Oh, but keep in mind that it can only recreate what you tell it to. It can't simulate things it doesn't have data for, and if the data itself contains mistakes, then you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation too. But this particular recreation is based on Kay's photo, so it shouldn't run into any problems. That's enough preamble. Shall we get started? Yes! Okay. Okay. Don't forget, you can examine stuff in the recreation, just like in real life. You can also present evidence to try and clear up any inconsistencies you'd find. Of course. Thank you for the reminder. Now, let's take a look at that well. First stage. Yes, this is where the circus show stage stood. Do you think people will be interested in a great thieving show? I'm sure the police will be very eager to attend. Chairs. These chairs must have been for the audience. Wow, I pity whoever had to put them all away. Really? Why? Huh? You've clearly never had to fold up a bunch of boring chairs before, huh? Oh, I have. It was torturous. Not personally. I've told other people to do it, though. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. You gotta roll up your sleeves and help out once in a while. I'll consider it. He won't consider it. Okay. Should examine this area carefully. You just hold the clue in need. Wingen! Thank you for resubscribing for 5 months! 5 months already? What? Wait, what? We got a hype train started! Yay! Am I not mistaken? Didn't we, like, get affiliated September? Isn't it 4 months instead of 5 months? Or I'm bad at math. September, October, November, December, January. Oh, it is 5 months. Anyway. What are a bunch of police doing here? Welcome back. Thank you very much. Wait, Winged is also invisible? Oh, it was because of the subscription. Almost half a year. Already? Time goes by fast. I really need to make channel badges. Until then. I do have an anniversary to plan, so it's in the cards. They don't seem to be enough police for lifting buckets. There's a sturdy looking hemp rope lying on the ground. Kind of reminds me of the ropes we used for playing tug-of-war in school. The answer is no. Okay. What? I didn't even say anything! Yet? I see it also has a metal stake attached to one end. Oh yeah, it looks like something you'd use to put up a tent. But there was no tent, was there? In which case, what was it used for? It's a metal weight of some kind. Looks like it weighs... Projection makes it a little tricky to read. Do you remember how heavy it was, Kay? 30 pounds. Sure, it was 30 pounds. Okay, we have a puzzle piece. What does anyone need such a heavy weight for anyway? Doesn't seem related to the circus show at any rate. The well was behind the stage, which means there aren't many people who could have thrown Knight's body down. Oh, there aren't many people who could have thrown Knight's body down it during the show. It's looking worse and worse for Mr. Saint. So, what do you think all the stuff around the well was used for? What indeed? I can't see any of the animals needing them for their part of the performance. Indeed, nothing immediately strikes me as a likely purpose. We'll have to ask Miss Berry later. We aren't done yet, though. I don't believe there's any more to be found here. Okay, fine then. Maybe on the other side. Oh, the elephant! A wicker basket, or rather a cart given the wheels. Hey, wouldn't it be fun to hop in and race it down a hill? No. Oh, you know what else would be fun? Racing down a hill of office chairs! Where did any of that come from? Imagination, Edgeworth. Give it a try. What was the name of your trunk-happy friend again? Isaiah the Ancient Elephant! She is important somehow. Of course, how could I forget? Not exactly inspired though, is it? Was Miss Berry having an off day when she came up with— Oh, Edgeworth, that's rude. Oh my gosh, Mr. Edgeworth, don't make fun of the poor elephant herself! I suspect that's about all there is to find for now. Detective Gumshoe should be here soon too. Okay, you can power down Mr. Sleeve now. Sure thing. Prepare to return to normality. That's it? Sorry, sir, I came as quick as I could. Gumshoe! Yay! With the dog! Missile is here too! And, oh, Regina is also here. Ha! Speak of the devil! Ah, Detective, that was indeed impressively quick. You know me, sir. Never did like to keep you waiting. Thanks for coming all this way too, Regina. No problem! This seems way more fun than rehearsal, so I ditched it for the day! Ah, the luxury of being the head of your department. It's very much appreciated. Alright, Detective, let's get started with Missile. Yes, sir! Hey, Missile! Over here, boy! He is very angry. What's the matter? Come on, boy, come on! Missile! He's very angry for some reason. Are there samurai dogs here? What's wrong with him? Looks like he's scared of something, sir. Huh? Oh! I forgot there was an alligator here. Alligator! Guess he's not a fan, sir. Well, I doubt it'll be with much help like this. Not a smart thing to forget about. I mean, there is a fence. A very small fence, but a fence. And the other bright idea is Malzarino? Yes, actually. Miss Berry, would you mind lending us a hand? Oh, I'd love to! Just tell me what you need! Do you want me to teach Allie some tricks? I don't doubt she could do it, but... nothing quite like that. I'd simply like an account of what the yard looked like during the show. I like where this is going. You're thinking of using a little thief again, am I right? If you'd be so kind. The dog! Sniff, sniff. Okay, I've plugged in all the data. Firing up the simulation. Oh! Here you go. This is what the yard was like during the show. The time at which the body was purported to have been thrown down a well. Oh, wow! This is so amazing! It's like magic! No magic here. Just sweet, sweet data. Which is why... The area behind the stage is missing. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Did that happen in the previous game? Yeah, Regina said she wasn't involved in getting the stage set up. So we don't have any idea of what it was like back there. No data, no simulation, huh? Brutal. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simeon do everything by himself. Oh, no. It's all my frilly associates' fault. Objection, Fender. Anyway, got a fresh simulation now. But we still have the other data too. I can switch back whenever you want a recreation of them taking down the stage. So we can examine the scene both during and after the show. And switch between the two at will. I can switch between recreations by the T button to talk with K. Now then, let's continue our investigation. Shall we? Oh, this is gonna be tricky. The dog! It's as bad as it looks, sir. Poor little guy's scared out of his skin. I'd hoped to have him track that scent again, but that clearly isn't in the cards now. Aww, poor Missile. Sad. I do like this performance picture, though. A story of forbidden love between a tiger and an elephant. Wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have seen Simeon up there on that stage, too. Oh, he was wonderful! The way he flew off that stage! Ah, yes, that scene. This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage. Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. And you're saying the crime took place during that time? Roughly, how long would you say Mr. Saint was off stage for, Miss Berry? Let's see. I guess it was around 15 minutes? Just as Judge Cavell said. Isn't it pretty hairy health and safety-wise, having an elephant fling a guy off the stage? Not at all! Isaiah's very gentle. Sure. I'm not sure it changes much if she flings him gently or roughly. Too gentle, in fact. When we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him. But by the end, he was flying off that stage. Not because of Isaiah, though. Simeon had figured out some kind of trick, apparently. Is that amazing? A trick? Do you have any idea what kind of trick? Who, me? Oh no, it was Simeon's big thing. I wouldn't know where to start. Ah, maybe I do know what he was doing. Let's see. What if the items were for this trick? Is it? Yes! The trick Mr. Saint performed for his big scene. Could it have something to do with all the items we found by the well? Okay, I'd like to have another look at the equipment around the well from yesterday. Can you have Mr. Steve bring up the recreation from when they were tearing down the stage? You got it! Okay. Taking another look at these items. Could they not have been used for this trick of Mr. Saint's? Sounds plausible enough. Hey, I can maybe add it to the simulation. Good idea. Please go and ask Mr. Saint for the details. Roger that. I'll be right back. Okay. Give her a sec. I'm back! And he told me exactly how he did it. Okay, thank God. Also, thank God you. asked him and not me. He would have had a heart attack if it was me. Excellent. Well, how does it work? Oh, God. He said he used the pulley at the top of the well to suspend a heavy weight from a rope and lowered that down into the well. The other end of the rope went through 2 more pulleys, and that was tied around his body. Huh? I see. So he used the downward pull of the weight to help him launch himself into the air. But how did he make sure the weight only dropped when he wanted it to? He used a stake to stop it, that's how. Miss Berry didn't seem to know anything about the trick, or the contraption he built for it. In which case, I suppose it must have been Mr. Saint himself who pulled out the stake. That's right! And to do that, he used a second length of rope. He tied it to the stake, and then when he gave it a sharp tug... Ah! The stake was released, and the weight dropped down the well. It's a great trick! I have to steal it! Of course you take that away from all this. This one has to go in the Great Thief's repertoire! It may not be quite that easy. These kinds of circus tricks can require years of practice to master. Simply stealing the idea won't be enough. Alright, practice it is then! Well, before you run away to do so, would you mind updating the simulation? Oh, right. Then we can see how it all worked from ourselves. Okay, I'm switching back to recreation of the performance. And now to add the data. Lucy should be able to reproduce this trick now. There we are. Okay. So this is how Mr. Saint performs his trick. Interesting. Simi's full of surprises, huh? I mean, dropping a weight down a well to help him fly off the stage like that? That's genius. Indeed, but I imagine he would have needed quite a lot of weight, more than him at the very least. Would have taken some serious pull to lift him into the air like that. Yeah, probably a ton of practice. I mean, we do have a 30-pound weight. Pulling force and the weight. But if that was the case, why was it next to well? Ta-da! Wait, doesn't it seem odd to you? Yeah. No? You haven't noticed, Detective. There's something strange about the weight we found. How heavy it is, how there's only one, what it's made of. Why am I I mean... Wait, how much was it? It's not in here. It was a 30-pound weight. It's because I'm European and I don't know what pounds are, but... I don't think a normal human person weighs 30 pounds. So, it's a bit too light. Weight on its own wouldn't have been heavy enough. Yes! Oh god. Wait, are you saying the body was also attached to that rope? What? Clap. Wow. Sheesh. I really need to study up how much a pound is compared to a kilo. A kilogram. More weight would have been needed to lift Saint into the air. A single 30-pound weight couldn't have lifted Mr. Saint off the ground. Oh, yeah! In which case, could there perhaps be some weights missing? Sounds like a job for my 7 secret weapons, sir. Should the need to use no rise? I suppose I should speak with him then. Okay. Let's talk a bit. That's one heavy weight. Kinda makes you think how much this must be. I'll be weighing on Simi. It's like 2.2, I think so. 30 pounds is like 30 to 14. That is stupidly light. I'm embarrassed how long that took. the curse of being European playing an American game. It does? I'm not sure I quite see it myself. Oh, too bad we don't have the real thing here. Otherwise, I'd hang around your neck like a big old albatross. Then we'll see how you like it. Okay, what the frick? You'd face some stiff resistance if you tried, I can promise you that. Mr. Saint used the wall to construct a contraption that would send him flying from the stage. It made clever use of 2 ropes. This tarp, just like the one we saw in the workshop. This tarp is just like the one we saw in the workshop! Echo! Yes, but why is it here? But why is it here? Guys! Are you okay, Miss Edgeworth? You've gone kind of blank. And I intend to stay blank until you stop stealing my thoughts. The clever use of the 2 ropes. What's up here? Pulley and a rope. I suppose the 2 do tend to go together. They sure do. Like a great thief and a treasure. Can't have one without the other. Sorry, but the proper pairing in this case is a great thief and a set of hands. Oh, Edgeworth, what the? Wow. Chairs. Oh, there's something here. It's filled with stuff. Basket was empty in the other recreation. Oh yeah. It's definitely empty in the photo I took too. Oops, sorry. I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier. Oh? That basket's for holding Isaiah's food, but on the morning of the show, all the apples that were in it had vanished. Poof. I totally forgot to mention it. Sorry. Disappearing apples. I should make a note of this. Huh. Maybe. The cage is empty, of course. It's the pen that held Isaiah, the Asian elephant. Now empty, as the lady herself is on stage. Wonder how they got her in here in the first place. What do you mean? Well, the entrance to the yard is people-sized. There's, like, a gazillion megawatts pumping through that fence. Kinda risky, no? What if I turn off the electricity? Yeah, but then all the prisoners would escape. Through an entrance blocked by an elephant? I think not. This is a real puzzler, alright. I need to give it some more thought. She seems to be enjoying the challenge. I'll leave her to it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna ask Gumshoe for the metal detector. Don't say a word, sir. I know just what you're looking for. To the null of your face. It is. Missile may be temporarily out of action, but my fishing rod is good to go whenever you need it. Gumshoe. 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 You were just talking about the metal detector. Oh, and if you want to give the metal detector a shot, I'll have to too. Okay. I never seen him so excited. I'll be sure to let you know if I need either of the detective. Stuttering. Sheesh. It's a sign that I haven't done this in a while. Sheesh. Metal detector. Well, look for the weights, please. Please? Yay! Detective, I have need of one of your secret weapons. Roger that! Gumshoe. What are you planning to do with that? Were you planning to do battle with the alligator? The metal detector, if you'd be so kind. Aw, jeez, I'm never gonna get to use my fishing rod. I mean, you can use it later to play with the alligator. So before we get started, let me run you through how the metal detector works, sir. It's simple enough. It uses this sound and this gauge. This is far more complex than I thought this would be. To tell you how close you are to something made of metal. The closer you get, the more strongly it'll react. When it starts going wild like this, just give me the order to examine the spot where I'm standing. Say, what do we got here? Oh, the fence. Anyway, that's how it all works. You tell me where you want me to look, sir, and I'll get right on it. To the right, detective. To the right I go! South. Left. I said left, detective. But this is my left. The other left. Oh. Sir, I'm picking up something over here. Let's take a little look-see. Huh? Watch out! Found these little guys in the grass. They're the same as the weights we found by the well. They must be from Mr. Saint's trick. Did someone hide this here on purpose? I count all four altogether, sir. They'll be more than happy enough to send him flying. Somebody had several of the same weights as the one by the well. But why? Why am I over here? Yes, nice work, me. Yeah! Ah! Back away! Alligator! I think nearly gave me a heart attack. Huh? Uh-oh. There's something in its mouth. Oh, God. It's the metal detective. It's the metal detector, sir. It's, reacting to the alligator. What? How? You sure it's not responding to the weights we just found? No, sir. I'm sure this is something different. And I'm sure it's coming from the alligator. Oh, it's gone. And she's gone. Ha ha! Ha! We scared that big snapper. I don't think that's it, Kay. Huh? Then what is it? Allie hasn't been herself lately. How would you know? That's the name, Allie, the warden's favorite pet. She wouldn't even look at the food the warden the guard brought her yesterday. She was acting as if, I don't know, as if maybe she'd eaten something that didn't agree with her. Maybe the metal detector was responding to whatever she ate, sir. Oh no! What if she ate one of the weights? I highly doubt that even an alligator could swallow a 30-pound lump of iron. So what did the metal detector actually pick up? And why would someone hide those weights? Perhaps I missed something when I looked at the equipment by the well. Okay, could you recreate the scene again? Coming right up! I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. The juice. There must be something here. What do I have? Mr. Saint's trick. Caption used by the well, very heavyweight, 3 bullets. 2 legs! There's only 1! Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Yes! Yep! Eureka! Think about the 2 recreations. The one during the performance and the one we're looking at right now. There's a major difference between the 2. Namely, that one of the ropes is missing. Oh yeah! Mr. Saint's trick would have worked with only the items we see before us. So what happened? Where did the missing rope go? I think one of the pieces of evidence we've collected might tell us exactly that. Really? What shows us where the missing rope went? Ah! It's the one on top of the body. This rope was found beside Knight's body. Wait, you mean? Yes, it must have been the other rope used in Mr. Saint's trick. So you're saying? Yes, that this rope is indeed a weight attached to it. But it wasn't any of the iron weights we found. Those were hidden in the bushes and replaced with something else. What was it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, I'm dying here! Think about what the rope we found in the workshop was related to. Do that, and you'll soon figure out the answer. The weight to drop down the well in place of the iron weights was... Reiji Midoriyama. Thank you very much for following. You're now a polka dot. The body was used as a weight! Oh, hi, Lord Chivo. Nice to see you, too. But make sure to drop by Rans. I mean, it's his affiliate's anniversary after all. But yeah. It can only have been Knight's body that was dropped on the well. What? Miss Knight's body was the weight? Yeah, somebody first swapped out the weights used for Mr. Saint's trick. Then Mr. Saint used the contraption to make his exit from the stage. When he let the rope around his body loose... Ah! Both the rope and Knight's body fell through the bottom of the well. Gotcha! That rope was never used to restrain Knight. It was used to suspend his body halfway down the well. From this, we can easily see why most of the weights were hidden. So that no one would realize they'd be replaced with the body! Precisely. We can then further deduce that they were hidden by the killer. Whoa there, gang. Wasn't poor old Bronco stabbed in the neck? Wouldn't there be blood everywhere, including down the well? Oh, the killer thought of that, which is why they used this. Ah! The tarp!
Take that!
This tarp was found with the body. I think it's likely that Knight's corpse was wrapped in it. Ooh, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. It's all coming together now. Love it. But all we're doing is proving that the body did go down the well. Which means we're helping to prove that Simeon was the killer. No, not quite. But what about Judge Cavell said yesterday? Huh, but if Mr. Saint truly is the killer, why would he need to go to such lengths to commit this crime? That's true. Knight's body fell down the well and Mr. Saint used his contraption during the show. Therefore, it reveals nothing about where the real killer actually was, or what they were doing at the time. It's only designed to throw suspicion onto those who are not at the show. Yeah, I guess we did suspect Mr. Canis right away, huh? That's what the killer's goal. That was the killer's goal, to make us think that the crime took place during the show. In other words, they used the well contraption to construct an alibi. Miss Berry, when exactly did Mr. Saint put his contraption together? It would have been the day before the show. The night before, actually. Yes, we started getting ready for the show at around 9 PM. And I think we finished at around midnight? In which case, the killer must have switched the weights out for the body after that point. Okay. Does Canis know about this contraption? Even if he did, he wouldn't have been able to do much with it. I highly doubt that he taught his dog to suspend bodies halfway down wells. You would be surprised. Which means Canis is the killer. Yeah, he wasn't. Okay, we have some puzzle pieces. Wait a second. Was the body hidden in the apples? Please? Ah! No! It doesn't add up. No! I better think again. Yeah, oh god. But I don't have anything else to do. I mean, I do have a lot of health, but I shouldn't risk it because I have a lot of cross-examining to do later. I mean, was she already here? I mean, it is worth the risk, I think. Please? Yes! Oh! I was thinking too far ahead already. The apples in the basket were likely eaten by Isaiah. Really? That's strange. I made sure to put the cart where her trunk couldn't reach them. Are you sure about that? Oh, yes! It was still full of apples the night before the show. You must consider the possibility that the cart was moved to somewhere within Isaiah's reach. A large basket full of apples couldn't have been moved by the wind, which likely means somebody moved it for a reason. Oh, and that is the one I have to connect. So before the show had even started, the cart had been moved, so its apples eaten. Yes, that seems to be the most probable timeline. Let's update the recreation K. Will do. I'll add it into the simulation of the performance then. Let's just change back to that recreation first. Updating based on what Regina's told us now. Okay. There, all done. And then, with that piece of information, now we can deduce that the body was in the basket. Please? There we go. Ah! Basket was moved the night before the circus performance. And we've deduced that the weights were switched out for the body at around the same time. Let's chalk that up to a coincidence, huh? And the next question we should be asking is, why was the cart moved? I think I can hazard a guess. The cart would have been blocking that door. Which can only mean that somebody needed to open it! Now let's see what's... It's locked. Oh, wait. It's locked. Let me ask a guard for help! Hey, Mr. Guard! Yes, miss. What can I do for you? That was fast. Guard, where is the key for this door? Oh, the warden keeps hold of that. I'll go ask her for it. The warden, huh? Huh? Interesting. Warden look guard is the only one with a key? Meaning if somebody did open the door, they would have had to get it from her somehow. Or she would have done it. Thanks for the help! Look at all these breakers. They must control the electricity for the whole prison. So we're thinking somebody got in here the night before the show, right? But why? What are they trying to do? Well, I doubt they came here by mistake thinking it was a break room. They must have come to tamper with the switches. Did they turn off the power to something? To think of it, wasn't there something that lost power? Or might have lost power had the breaker been flipped. The security camera! That's why! Yes! There was a 3-hour gap in the security camera footage. Oh yeah, there was! So somebody flipped the breaker it was connected to. Seems very likely. Do you think it was the killer? It's true that shutting off the cameras would have made things easier for them. It would. Which means the killer would have to be someone who had access to the breakers. It seems only one person has the key. Couldn't be. Could it? It very well could. Breakers data jotted down in my organizer. Alright, little thief, your work here is done. Woo! It's time for some cross-examinations. We are gonna eat the woman alive. Oh, nice. Oh, there they are! There he is! Yay! I'm so glad I got to see him again. Oh, for the love of God. Guys, I watched back the VOD to catch up, but his cross-examination I watched like 5 times because it was so hilarious. I don't know why, but I really like this kid. I find him hilarious. First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm. Good morning, Mr. Winner. What? You? How did you get here before me? Good morning, Mr. Edgeworth. I see you've made an early start. And I see you've made a late one, Judge Cavell. This is not my only case. I am a very busy woman. Not all of us enjoy the freedom of a prosecutor relieved of his only current responsibility. Oh, I do apologize. I meant, of course, an associate attorney. Psst, associate? More like asinine? We'll see about that. Eustace, let us begin the investigation of the yard. Do I have to cross-examine Eustace again? Okay, I'll go get some officers to help. Hold it! No, we already did it. That will be necessary. Why not? We've already finished investigating the yard and won quite a prize in the progress. Won? But I'm supposed to be the winner. Your Honor, I'd like to revisit your theory from yesterday in order to thoroughly disprove it. I would caution you to choose your words carefully, Mr. Edgeworth. As I'm sure you remember, your badge is in my hands. But we have the full confidence. How could I forget? You've told me several dozen times already. Perhaps you'd care to try a different threat? No. You have been warned repeatedly, yes, and each time, my words seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Allow me to make this crystal clear. The committee cannot and will not tolerate insubordination. Objection! Fate of my badge and the whims of the committee are of no concern to me now. The only thing that concerns me is proving Simeon Saint's innocence. Interesting. And spoken like a true defense attorney. In that case, I shall be equally uncompromising. In the name of the goddess of justice. I will strike down your case without mercy. And when I am done, your career as a prosecutor will be over as well. I hope you do not come to regret this. Okay, no Eustace, only Gavel. Let's go.
My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. Mr. Carcerado did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint.
No. That's still your assertion, and you can prove it, of course. Not yet. Of course you can! What do you think you're up against?
What Eustace means to say is that we received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival.
She really is a very busy woman. Busy looking after baby Widow! Oh, burn!
The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep.
Instant death from a stab wound to the neck.
Simeon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well.
Judge Gavel hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor.
You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it?
Yes, and I think I just might. We have the trick now. Simeon is not the only one who could have done it. I don't think he could have done it because it was... Yeah, the only one who could have dropped the body down here is Mr. Saint. It isn't. Because of this. Yes! I knew it. He's not the only one who could have used the trick. Sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption.
A contraption? Go on.
You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant.
I do, just before he was to be absent for some time.
He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weighted end down the well allowed him to complete the trick.
Objection!
Wait, wouldn't that send him flying as soon as he set foot on the stage?
Hold it!
It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With a second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer, in order to create an alibi. The estimated time of death tells us that the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
Objection!
You're saying Mr. Saint himself set the contraption up, right? Well then, who do you think is the #1 most likely person to have used it to dispose of a body, Even you must see how this looks.
Objection!
If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Gavel theorized, without these extra steps. Miss Berry. Yes? Does anyone else know how Mr. Saint's trick works? Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval on what we were going to perform, so I don't think Simeon's the only one who knows. And there you have it.
Overruled.
Interesting. You have certainly been diligent in your investigation. And yet, I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right?
Is what I'm doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so?
How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you are doing wrong at this very moment? You are a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of common sense. You are breaking every rule in the book.
Lady, I've already broken the rules once. This is child's play. I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. This is a path I have chosen. Whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can bring to bear.
Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If it is her that we must fight, then I shall end this, once and for all. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer.
Okay. Why Saint is a suspect?
If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Miss Simeon Saint.
No. No.
And thus he remains the only plausible suspect.
No.
Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell. But why would he do that? Why take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cells?
Yeah, it is pretty sus. Did you just say sus? No.
But we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do.
It's entirely plausible he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else.
It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape.
I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge. Yeah. And I know which one.
Then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his...
He was not the only person. Because there was another period of time. The breakers were messed with. Wait, does that... I first have to... Breakers or security footage? Well, first I have to have a leading point, and maybe the breakers are... Like... I have to connect the breakers to something in this case first. So this. Objection! Yes! Okay.
Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity.
Which opportunity are we talking about again?
Eustace, now.
This... I don't know what is up with this kid, but he really needs to take some lessons on listening. He's very slow on the draw. Yikes.
We've previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours.
Ah, Pikachu! Thank you for the 5-month subscription! A tier 2, even! Thank you very much! Yay!
From this, we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasting for that length of time.
For 6 months in oh my gosh, Pikachu! You're already investing! Amazing! Thank you very much.
During which anyone could have moved around the prison undetected.
Do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That it was no simple camera malfunction? Is that even possible?
It was completely possible, yes! Using this! The breakers! There we are!
Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, which can be used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened at around the time of the murder.
What? Oh, ow.
Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark.
Mr. Ashworth knows what he's doing.
Then how does he explain the lock on the power room door?
Oh, yeah, it was kind of locked up tight. Guys, there's only one key, and only one person with that key. And the warden's the only one with the key.
Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure, so I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily.
You guys are so blind.
No, but one person could have. I beg your pardon. That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them.
Objection!
What? There's no one like that! Kid! Wake up! See! The breaker to the electric fence is in there! It will be questioned in an instant!
There's only one person who meets this criteria. I can hardly believe it myself, but I have to follow where the logic leads.
The person who had access to the power room key was... the warden!
Take that!
The real culprit is...
Did I? Oh my god!
Warden Lagarde.
Oh, just look at you! Aren't you the cutest little poochie-woo?
He's not just a pretty face. Mitchell also has quite the nose for sweet things. Seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed. It's coming from you.
Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume.
Then perhaps it is the sweet stench of death. Ugh.
You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. But if I didn't know better, I'd almost think you were calling moi the killer.
That is precisely what I'm calling you.
Ugh. What?
Warden Lagarde is the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying? Oh ho ho! Such a naughty boy! How could he suspect me, I'm the one in charge around here. It's like we're a murder mystery, aren't we?
One that will finally end!
And equally far-fetched, this is preposterous.
Sadly, it is not, although I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points, and you must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warden Lagarde is the killer. I mean, the breakers. Again, right? Sweet scent!
Take that!
Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here is your accuser.
The police dog.
You had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent. It's coming from you.
Oh ho ho! Darling, you're priceless, really you are. Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion? Verity dear, do put him in his place.
Hope you've been doing well, Mia. I have been doing very well. The week break really helped. Just recuperating from my illness. And now I'm back in tip-top shape. Yeah, hope you've been doing well as well, Yikichu.
It seems Judge Gavel may have reached a similar conclusion to myself. You believe this to be a mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body's hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to brush it off as coincidence. However...
Indeed. Then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself.
We should, and when we have, this case will finally be at an end! Oh my god! We are teaming up!
You're all being simply awful! Stop looking at me like that! Me? The killer? How could I possibly do such a thing?
Sure! Let's go, B! Final! It's not the final cross-examination, but... final person!
Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in his cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him there. But how am I supposed to have moved the body? Especially as I never went into the prison. I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like. You won't find a record anywhere of me having entered or left the prison proper. I haven't the first idea what harebrained theories your little scamps have cooked up. But I'm innocent. There is simply no way I could be the killer.
Give me a break! Missile doesn't lie! Don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean! The dog doesn't lie! Confess!
Oh dear, I'm afraid you are the one making things difficult. As I just said, I've never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go and check the records. She clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, stop being a big silly. You've made a boo-hoo and you know it.
Ugh. Okay.
Hold it!
So you were in your office the whole time, and you didn't notice anything unusual?
No, I can't say that I did.
And you didn't notice anything missing?
I must confess, I'm a rather messy girl, and I'm forgetful one at that. I put something down and it lasts forever. It's a curse, darling, a curse. I even lost some important evidence recently. It was gone, poof, just like that.
Lady, that's not good for your job.
What? She still has a job?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Honestly, somebody came into my office and took something. It might be years before I noticed. Ugh, seems like I'll need more than the power room key. This will expose her. On the day of the murder, I was working in my office. Oh, and looking for something I misplaced. Even if I'd had a reason to go into the prison, I simply wouldn't have had the time.
Check if you like. I am going to check.
Hold it!
Sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance to the prison. But what if you took another route?
Oh, come now, sweetie. Surely you don't mean that awful, filthy tunnel they discovered. Why, until yesterday, I had no idea it even existed.
No, you had another way in.
I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance of the tunnel. The route you took went through this location.
Ah, here!
Take that!
The garden.
Through the fence.
Warden, you took a knight from his cell and brought him to your office,
Which just happens to be connected to the yard.
If you had a way of through the fence, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel.
Hehe, a gold star for creativity, darling. And how would I have gotten through the fence? The extremely high fence, topped with razor wire, with thousands of volts of electricity going through it.
You are the only one with the key here, lady! Yeah, how's she supposed to have gotten through that,
Eustace,
Don't stand next to her.
Fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room, and only you had the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it. Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden Lagarde was on the detention center side. How would she have reached the power room? Exactly, Verity, darling. Well, clever puss, you've dug yourself a real hole now. Ugh, If there's no record of Warden Lagarde having entered the prison proper, then the idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the breaker is out of the question. Ugh! There must be some way she could have done it. Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool and you've lost everything. But if I don't find a solution, she might still wriggle out of this. Hey, I said to take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. It's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall, yeah? No matter how you look at it, Warden Lagarde couldn't have done it alone. Mr. Edgeworth, if you cannot find a... Wait a second. Did the boxer break the circuits? With her key? You aren't doing yourself any favors by obstructing your justice with your silence. That was a reflective objection. But now that I've yelled it, I'm gonna come up with an answer, it's all over. I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me. Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence. Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. What enables her to shut off the breaker? I mean, an accomplice, right? An accomplice. She couldn't have done it alone, but what if she wasn't alone? Oh, now we're talking. Way to flex the old gray matter, kiddo. I believe the Warden Lagarde had an accomplice. But who? I mean, the boxer is an obvious contender. Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth.
What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth has said nothing wrong!
The inmates of this prison are all issued with security bracelets.
Except for one.
The ones that raise the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Ah! I see that you've realized your error. And we are, of course, within the prison grounds, where not only are the bracelets worn, but even the guards veil each other for signs of wrongdoing. Despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Carcerado's escape. The only ones who are free to roam are the animals. And they most certainly could not have operated the breaker.
No, so our accomplice must be human.
Then who did it? Given that it cannot have been the prisoner or a guard.
It saw it!
I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor.
The fact is, there is one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted. And I have just the evidence to show who that free-roaming person was. The bracelets!
Take that!
This is one of the prisoner's bracelets.
Indeed, a broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner.
What do you mean? And who is this prisoner?
Frank saw it. Warden Lagarde's favorite inmate. Ha ha! It's strange, isn't it, Warden? That he was able to keep his broken bracelets hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while. That is pretty funky. And I don't mean it in a good way.
It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others. Bodhidharma Canis, for example. Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation.
Objection!
In that case, why don't we ask Mr. Sard himself? I'm confident he will confirm for us that he and Warden Lagarde were accomplices in this crime. If the two of them had worked together, a certain route into the prison becomes viable. The real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall that there was two big obstacles in their path. First, the security camera outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the yard. But she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop by having Mr. Sarge shut off the corresponding breakers.
All right, Mr. Edgeworth. You've had your fun.
And?
Do you still deny it, Warden Lagarde? Ah, no, darling, you've got me. I admit it. Warden, tell me this isn't true. Sorry, Verity, honey, I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it.
No way! You did this, Edgeworth! You got her! Nice shooting, cowboy! She will be wriggling out of this now.
As Mr. Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker. But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, sweetums, no, we didn't. What? Warden, explain yourself. Oh, Verity dear, I doubt your precious goddess will want to hear my excuses now. She is all merciful. You have but to confess, and you shall be saved. Oh gosh, all right. I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said.
Ah. Who is he?
Bodhidharma Canis, that awful assassin! Canis. How long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived.
Oh, God!
The moment we were alone, he said this to me.
You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution.
Others?
Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them.
Of course, he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies. And then he said one last thing.
I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have set my dogs on you, or your precious family.
Yikes! I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for.
Everything? Wait, is that how he became the fixer?
Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command. I smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him too.
She broke the bracelet for him!
So you're smuggling in contraband? How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go from my office into the yard without being seen by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the packages down the well in the prison side and went back through the fence. Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume. So that's what the sweet smell was. Yes, it was a signal for Canis' dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course.
Can't have been easy keeping him from finding out.
Oh, we're all very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. And that adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Canis' dog. Poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either. She has oversight over everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Canis couldn't fail. Frankie would sneak out early again in the morning to switch the breakers back on, and our work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes on the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance. You have shared a great deal, Warden. The guys at Justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool, I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days. And so, Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. There was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out in the yard. So that's the secret behind the fixer system, and why she was...
Ah!
Heaven knows how many times I've hauled this secret scoundrel into my office to talk to me.
Ah. Those were moments where he asked her to bring some things to the prison. I see. That's why you're interrogating Mr. Canis over and over.
Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hedge people of his. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I've watched his every move, intercepted every letter he wrote. His letters, I suppose she must know about his correspondence chess games too. But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's... Oh, you just can't comprehend it.
And you have just heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The words of Warden Lagarde's confession have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there's no need to hound her any longer. Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though? Or is there more about her to uncover?
There's definitely more.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet.
I think the Goddess of Justice would agree. So you mean to make her suffer even more than she already has?
Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Canis does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of and even facilitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used the same route to move Knight's body.
And where is your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's in the fact that the sweet smell on Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden Lagarde uses to signal a delivery. What do you make of that?
Well, that's because we've done it so many times by now that the whole well probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body. That does match the statement that Mr. Carcerado provided.
Ah, it always smelled kind of nice down there.
His words would seem to suggest that the smell had permeated the well. Ugh! You've been rendered speechless, I see. Then I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court.
No! No! What do we do, Miss Edgeworth?
What can I do? Is this as far as we go? Finally! So we're actually done?
Yes, Eustace, it seems we are.
Oh my god.
By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned.
No! Hold it!
Fender?
Who was that?
Yes, Fender! I knew it!
Come on, Judge G. Things were just getting good.
Fender, are you objecting to my adjourning this session?
No. We'll shout it objection if I wanted to do that. You do you, G. Adjourn. Don't adjourn. Whatever floats your boat.
What are you doing, Mr. Fender?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's just all take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean, a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone?
Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court?
No. My bad. I just had a quick request to make is all. As Simeon Saint's lawyer, that is.
Ah, yes. I had forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender.
How could you? You're killing me here.
Can you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time.
Right you are, which is why.
I think it's time to put in some work. Work, you say? Somehow I don't believe you've worked a day in your life.
Well, let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. What if I question the witness?
Now. Amusing, but what is there left to ask?
I've got a feeling in my funny bone that Thieves here has something more to tell us about the killer.
Do I?
Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans. We're all ears.
Ooh. Mr. Edgeworth, what's he doing?
Trying to coax Warden Lagarde into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis.
She did? No way!
It's so obvious. If he was convicted of committing murder here, that could have been grounds for a transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility.
Ah! And where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh?
Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it.
No. Sid cannot be the killer. That's not fair! I was so ready to prosecute him!
You are...
How did you graduate law school? How did How does she even graduate high school? No, that's rude, but... My guy! Kid! I know, right? But maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, yeah? Hee nice! Now Mr. Winner has to go along with it too!
Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further?
Of course! How can I refuse this silver-tongued devil? Immykins, you have such a way with words! Just doing my job, Beef! Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all the verity, darling. Do say you'll let me.
As you wish. Court is unadjourned.
I can't believe you pulled that off, Mr. Fender!
Whew, me either! He's the king of bluffing!
Thank you for your timely intervention.
Hey, it's the least I could do. It's not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard. And besides, the defense never rests. Am I right? TuMiiA is depending on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there.
And we can't follow this up now.
Which means you're up to bat, Miles. Miles. Show him that never rests spirit.
I shall.
Fabulous. Then let's get started. Alrighty. My truth.
I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sordid details, it was him. He stabbed that poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened.
I don't think so.
The victim, Mr. Knight, yes? I did him the most terrible disservice.
Yes, you killed him.
I suppose you could put it that way. If I weren't such a sorry excuse for a warden, this never would have happened. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess. Warden Lagarde, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit. I am certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude.
It cannot possibly be like that. A dog is always a good boy and never guilty of anything. I mean, the dog had blood in his mouth. In the intro.
Clearly never met Mr. Knight.
Okay. Yeah, no. Blaming it on the dog of all things. The monster. There was correspondence chess. They were having chess matches. They had no...
Whatever the sort of details, it was him.
How did he stab that man to death?
Hold it!
What more can you tell us about those sordid details? Well, we all know what Canis once did for a living. I doubt the killing part gave him much trouble.
How the heck did he get out of his cell? How the heck did he get to the freaking holding cell? What? They were as apart as possible.
Especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think? Couldn't turn his head to the right, poor dear. That's what they told me when they brought him in anyway. We must make some sort of report for the warden when new prisoners are admitted. Seemed keen for us to think you didn't know much about Knight. That's because I didn't, sweetie, and the victim was simply a fun target to that monster, nothing more. I expect Canis used the chisel that was hidden in that chest set, don't you? Awful grisly business. Just imagine, the man probably didn't even have time to cry out.
I see. Thank you for your thoughts.
They were very helpful. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail if you don't mind. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day.
No, not again.
Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course we can talk about them some more.
But... Huh? How did you know about... How did you know about that? How did you know there was a chisel in the chess set?
Objection!
Oh my god! She let it slip!
Warden Lagarde, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please, call me Fifi, or Sweetie Pie if you prefer.
No. One old lady thirsting after me is enough, thank you.
However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance. Tee, aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed. We're all family here.
Come on, Miss Edgeworth, don't let her get inside your head.
You said earlier that you didn't know much about knights. In which case, I find it rather strange that you know about the chisel.
Yeah!
Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in?
No! Saint brought in the chess set!
Objection!
You're not talking your way out of this, Warden. That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chess set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived.
What? I mean, of course, that when Mr. Saints came in, we...
Objection!
You checked him? I find it hard to believe, because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. If you found the chisel, why did you not confiscate it there and then?
Oh!
Judge Gravel, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set?
I did not.
Ooh. If no one leaked your findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden Lagarde? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Knight or Mr. Saint on our arrival.
Indeed. Such a thing would imply an intentional oversight if it had been found, yet let through.
Precisely. So, Warden Lagarde, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess set? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit that you...
Alright, darling, there's no need to rub it in. You got me, alright? I questioned Knight. That was when I learned about the chess set. But please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him. One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. The court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth?
None, Your Honor.
Thank you, darlings. I'll clear up this awful misunderstanding, I promise. Very well. Go ahead, Warden Lagarde. And please, tell the truth this time.
Her lies are starting to wear thin. This is my chance to expose her.
Okay!
My truth part 2.
I said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand. I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was so different. Sad. Little chat, you might call it. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away.
A little talk, huh? The more she lies, the more thoroughly she seals her fate.
To a Sunday conversation with a new detainee. That seems entirely above board. Exactly, Verity, darling. I knew you'd understand.
Objection!
Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement?
I suppose we shall see, won't we? Mr. Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination.
What was the chat?
Hold it!
How was he when you spoke with him?
Oh, he was so open and honest, darling.
What? That guy? Honest?
He was talking about one croissant and promoting a prawn? I suppose he must have been hungry.
En passant in promoting a pawn. Seems he spared no one from his obsession with chess.
Hold it!
How? If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today.
You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? But what would my motive have been, darling? I told you I barely knew him. I am no angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal.
She really does hate Canis. Warden Lagarde, I must insist that you append that statement to your testimony. I have my grudges. They had a connection. They played correspondence chess.
Objection!
One link is all that is needed for a paranoid person to go after it. Judge Cavell, I'd like you to take a look at this.
Notes about the game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's found in Knight's cell, which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warden Lagarde. But you didn't just see this game in Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Canis' cell too.
What do you mean?
Objection!
Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chess board in maximum security.
I imagine he watches every movement like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option.
If she wants to find out who his cronies are, right?
Personally interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as he said, Mr. Canis had threatened you. He put your precise home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were.
And so what if I did?
You also told us you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact.
You knew he was playing correspondence chess.
Ah! And then who should appear but Knight, carrying him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men. It seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman sent to kill you. Which is the real reason she had that chat with the Bronxer. If his boss wouldn't crack, then maybe he would. And when you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. From there, inside his chest set, you found a hidden chisel. The murder weapon itself.
As far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing. Canis. Thus you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Canis. And that is why you killed him.
I see you have no more excuses.
Judge Cavell, your verdict, please.
Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt. I hereby give my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered by...
I like how useless is just standing there doing nothing.
In the name of the goddess of justice, who is it this time? Warden. It's a joke. It's all a big, stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you?
I think we've proven that it's you who didn't understand things correctly.
Me? Please, darling, I understand it all perfectly well, thank you very much. And I understand that there's a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh. You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict.
Overruled.
I am curious to hear what Warden has to say.
What?
You're dull, Verity. I just have one last thing to say. Then Mr. Edgeworth can declare himself the winner.
You right? Ken! You!
Does anyone remember a certain autopsy report? Of course, we received the finalized version only this morning. That's right, and I was listening to what you told us about it. Verity, even if nobody else was, you said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches? Wait, riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound? Forgive me, oh goddess, I can't breathe. Oh, sorry, I was stuttering because of stress. Okay, I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake. Looks like your theory is the one that doesn't hold water, Edgeworth. What now,
What do we do? It'll be fine! Mr. Edgeworth always comes through! Right, sir?
Uh-oh. Looks to me like the Miles of Trials out of commission.
You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why don't you just do something? Turn things on their head with a desperate bluff! Blurt out first mind-blowing thing that comes to you! Capshu! Fender is not Phoenix!
Look, detective, I'm as much of a man of action as the next guy. But without evidence, we're up a creek without paddle here. This might be the end of the road.
We can't give up now! We have to do something!
I swear to the one Lagarde is the killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. But if the chisel wasn't a murder weapon, what other bladed weapon is there here in this facility? It seems we still do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to provide those answers. Alas, we must make it to the trial to see this matter resolved, I'm afraid.
Objection.
Oh, come on, G. You're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence.
Overruled.
Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender?
No, not me.
I tried, Miles. Any bright ideas?
What is a real murder weapon? Since it's clearly not a chisel.
Confound it, the Squetches throws everything we introduced out the window. Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties.
There must be something.
It's hopeless. I can't think of anything. I need more time.
Loath as I am to admit it, Huh?
You can't give up now! Remember what Mr. Fender said! Simeon's counting on us! Without us, he's... Remember how upset he was? He was devastated! Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death! There's no way he did it! But if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us! He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news! And I, for one, won't walk away until we have some!
Hey. Gee, Miles, your little buddy there's quite a motivational speaker. And she's right, too. When you find yourself in the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he'd always find a way to turn it around and save his clients. You're just like him, right? If there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who will find it. Simeon's counting on you. Judge Cavell.
You seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you mean to attend to the defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories, and have made numerous false accusations. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor, and relieve you of your badge, for good.
She's right. I have put forward a number of theories that prove to be flawed in one way or another. Have I made some sort of fundamental oversight? Wait, she said my theories were misguided.
Nothing to say, and the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby...
Sir! Mr. Edgeworth!
Give my verdict. That's it! I've been thinking about it the wrong way all this time! My theories were misguided. I was being misled.
The defendant seems sane.
I think it's a little too soon for that, Your Honor.
I'd say it's well past done, darling. Wouldn't you agree, Verity? Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed.
What?
I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of his dog helmet, the fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors made Mr. Canis the obvious suspect at first.
This again, Mr. Edgeworth, you seem almost proud of your blunder.
Hold it!
But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Canis? What if this was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, our purported murder weapon? Knight had been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel is a murder weapon. But why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think the chisel is a murder weapon rather than whatever was really used? In order to get Canis transferred. Warden, you took advantage of what the chisel seemed to suggest. What it suggested? What are you talking about, darling?
Hold it!
Mr. Wenner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think? Huh? That Mr. Canis was the killer? And there you have it. That was the trap the warden set for us. Oh my god!
Oh, Mr. Canis has a bunch of chisels! So she wanted us to think it was one of his, right?
Indeed. That was her plan right from the start. To frame Bodhidharma Canis.
The reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden Lagarde certainly seems to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Canis. However, I think you know what I'm going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden Lagarde is the killer.
I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we now know must exist.
If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here.
Objection!
If we could just find the real murder weapon.
Objection!
How many times do we have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom.
Eustace is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found, so I'm afraid you're a bit of an impasse.
Objection!
I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because it's still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that.
The security gate! I'm glad you at least remember what it is. Do you remember what it does?
Of course I do. I'm not an idiot. The security gate detects metal. Which means you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it out. Oh! He's finally catching up.
Precisely. If there's another murder weapon, it cannot have been taken off the premises. But nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. And so we find ourselves right back where we began.
Judge Cavell.
What I am trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that if you wish me to believe that there is another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how it got here.
Alright, we know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chess set. But our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So if the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in.
Yes, the question of the hour is this. Can you show me this alternate route?
Ugh. How did the weapon or the guard use to get into prison? Borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation? Everything related to Canis.
Of course, that's how.
The fact that this is here with us shows how a bladed object could have been brought into the facility as well.
Oh my god! The other was attached to the murder weapon!
Take that!
Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Canis yesterday.
Yes, it was but one of my bells. One of only two in existence.
Just two.
Two and only two. One for my knife, and one for my beloved helmet. Exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide, after all. And I must be able to use my tools. Precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has been long taken from me.
So you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized, as part of the evidence the guard borrowed from the police!
What? Oh my god!
Mr. Canis' knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it.
The bell that was attached to the chisel.
Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel.
But it can't be right! The chisel only has some nice fingerprints on it!
Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. She made it look as if the chisel was the murder weapon, and then attached the bell to it. In doing so, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Canis. And who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken? Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted.
Who was it, sir? Who's been messing with the evidence?
I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden Lagarde?
But bells aren't exactly rare, you know. Anybody could have set that up. No!
Objection!
Luckily for you, that isn't quite true. These particular bells are unique. Because there's only two of them in existence.
What?
By attaching that bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer.
Oh, but you don't have any proof that the knife was ever even here to begin with.
Hold it!
I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Winner, I'd like to order another search of the prison right away.
Huh?
But if you do find something, that's going to make things awkward for me. This isn't about what's convenient for you. We have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but...
You know, this was an excuse of a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it. Anyhow, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it. You know full well that she will do no such thing. You have the power to assist on the search. Use it!
Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence. The goddess of justice cannot bestow her blessings on those who lack the proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom.
No. If you give Lagarde the opportunity, she'll destroy whatever evidence is left. I have to object. I have to stop them.
What do I say? I don't have anything concrete to offer.
What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. No, I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint, and that means... even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot. It's now or never. Should I object?
Yes! Objection!
I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels.
Yay! He's putting himself in Phoenix's shoes finally!
Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Objection!
Wait, Your Honor.
This had better be good, Miss Edgeworth.
I've got it.
Got what, exactly?
The real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Canis' knife is. Do you really, Miss Edgeworth?
I do.
Not at all. Yay, he really is Phoenix.
If I did not know better, I would say that you were bluffing.
Huh. You will me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. This is terrible for my heart.
There's no way you could... It's not here, I tell you.
It is here.
Well, which means your kindness to enlighten us. Where is the real murder weapon?
Think, Miles, think.
Somewhere that even the police would search. A blind spot in the zoo. A hiding place that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place? No!
Ah! I see! An animal's mouth! I know where it is.
Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous. Isn't it?
The metal detector, Miles! The metal detector!
But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be? Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting?
There's the faintest possibility I'm right.
If I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything.
Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden. In the yard!
Take that!
Here, in the yard.
Indeed.
I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more?
Where exactly is the real murder weapon hidden? Alligator mouth!
Take that!
Open your mouth! Yes! Of course, that's what it must have been. The metal detector! Yes! Oh my god!
The metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence. The chisel.
Didn't we just figure out that it isn't the murder weapon?
You might recall that Mr. Canis had this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way?
Haha. That's right. The murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in that pond over there. That sounds so ridiculous out of context. What? No way!
We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation.
Judge Cavell, we need to know what's inside that alligator.
Understood. Then we will need to summon a veterinarian.
I'm sure I could get the little sweetie to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try.
Please, by all means.
Yes! Her presence alone.
Warden Lagarde, the real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess?
I have nothing to confess.
If you wish, then you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed.
Sir, we got it! This has to be it!
It's over, Fifi Lagarde. The real murder weapon was Bodhidharma Canis' knife, making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight.
Yes! Finally!
I'm not the criminal here. This is all Canis' doing. I did the right thing. Knight was a threat. He was Canis' lapdog. Curse that despicable man, Canis. Why did he have to come and ruin my perfect little home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on earth. He ruined everything. Curse him. Curse that pitiless butcher. That awful, terrible, despicable man. Curse him!
Oh my god! The card was still alive! Oh my god, will Eustace now take the credit as a prosecutor? I am going to skin him alive if he does. Prosecutor Twitter, sir! Prosecutor Twitter, sir! The test results have just come back.
Winner. Guess we've all been under a lot of stress.
Traces of Bronco Knight's blood were found on Mr. Cadis's knife. Just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You can continue complimenting me if you like. Yes, sir. Winner wins again. I think I'm welling up a little.
With rage.
Excellent work, Eustace. Just a few loose ends to tie up and we're done.
Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I?
We have yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Canis.
He did not think about that.
It would be vital to know if Warden Lagarde was simply jumping to conclusions on that front.
Huh?
There's Clueless. And then there's you.
Oh, well, then I guess we better get back to investigation. Alright, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness first-rate investigator talent in action. Yes, sir, I'm right with you, sir. Can't wait to watch you at work. It's winning time! This kid!
I suspect this case will cause quite a stir.
The attempted murder of a president is news enough, and now his would-be assassin has been murdered.
But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place.
The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth, in the eyes of both society and the law.
How can you even say that?
You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in.
Being a prosecutor is about more than proving guilty. That's what I believe.
We are all free to believe it as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences.
What does that even mean? Wait, you're not gonna take his...
I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth.
I have a feeling we're gonna see you again. Judge Cavell is right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. Where following the law means sacrificing the truth. Can I really do that in good conscience?
Oh my god! Simeon! You're out! Yay! The monkey is out! Hi, Regina.
Is everything alright? They did let you out, right?
Yeah? But I'm so confused about what's going on. Some guy just came and said I was free to go, and that I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank. You sure do! Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is! Whoa, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh no. Stop staring at me like that! I'm innocent, I swear! Pull the rug out from under me now!
Stop it, silly! It's true! He saved you, so say thanks already!
Okay, thank you, Miss Edgeworth, thank you!
And a great big Regina Berry thank you from me too!
Mr. Singh talking directly to me. Small victories, I suppose.
Can I just ask one question, Mr. Attorney?
Sure. Not technically an attorney, though.
I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him, but now...
But now?
Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate somebody enough to want to kill them. If he kept something like that from me, then he never really trusted me, did he?
That's not true, Simeon. Of course he trusted you.
No, he didn't. If he just told me, I could have stopped him. I could have told him that hate never helps. That he had to let go of all that stuff.
Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. I should show him the thing that proves Knight trusted him.
Yeah. He asked to bring this to him. It's the chest that I brought for him.
Knight had hidden a chisel inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape.
What? You mean he was using me?
No, he wasn't. No, he believed in you. He knew he could count on you to bring it. That you would never be so untrusting as to look inside.
I imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could keep you from getting caught up in this mess.
Oh. Oh! Why didn't you tell me?
At least you understand now, right, Simeon? I'm sure he does. He may not show it, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow. That's not as complimentary as you think it is.
I'll try. I have to. For Bronco. I have to show him I can become the best animal trainer out there.
That's a spirit.
True VTuber at work. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that Max Galactica? Oh my god! That's Maximilian Galactica. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one.
That's right! The Very Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we have to go.
Well, I'll think about it.
Yeah, we have enough circus action.
Alright, Simeon. You got some training to do. I think it's time you and Regent got acquainted.
But what? Regent the tiger? No, wait, I can't. No.
Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cat.
I can't.
Look.
Please, Regina, anything but that, please.
No satisfied customer.
Ah, cute.
Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag. Wouldn't have done it without you, Thunder. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place.
Oh, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder, you're gonna make me blush. Or topple over.
I suppose it'll be asking too much for you to take this seriously.
Seriously? Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all.
To be an attorney.
Gotta say, I had a blast. Reminding me of the good old days.
Like Gregory was standing right there beside me.
It's been like a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job.
That's good? Bittersweet? I'm not sure.
Say, Miles, you ever thought about going into the defense game full time?
Excuse me?
I already know how this will end, but I do love this. I do love this arc. You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people. Hey pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides. Why not? Coming over to the light side, all the rage. Everybody doing it these days. Come on, Mr. Fender, you know it's not about that. Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question. No, you weren't. The heck you were. Looks like you've got a mean defense team there yourself, Miles.
Thunder, I am a prosecutor.
Yep, I'm an attorney. You could be one too.
I'm serious.
Well, said my piece. You change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting. See ya, my man. I love how he walks. That's the weirdest thing.
Follow in my father's footsteps? Could I really do such a thing?
I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. A sprite from the man himself.
An attorney, like my father. Me?
We finally reached the freaking end. It's been 2 hours. That's not. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna disappear for a sec. As is tradition around this point. 1, 2, 3, I shall disappear. One, two, three, and I appear once more. Okay, let's continue. Third case. Turnabout Legacy. Let's begin. I am so excited. Finally, we can continue. Ooh, cake! I love cake! What shall we make today, kids?
Samson.
And Judy's Bake and Bake.
Oh, cute! Macaroons, waffles with cream, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream.
Laugh and sing, smile is true, and all that sweetness waiting for you.
Look there, but where? Over there! The oven's got something special to share. Bing! Now let's see what we've got for you. Ah, that's so cute! It's cooking time! Are you ready to make something special together? That is so cute!
Wow, talk about a blast from the past. Hey, Gregory, I'm going back there tomorrow. With your boy. I'm finally going to find out what happened 18 years ago. Oh my god. He looks so much like Miles. It's ridiculous. Oh my god.
April 2nd, 10:05 a.m., Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room.
Good morning, everyone. Well, Thunder, are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Why have you brought me to an art gallery of all places?
Hey, you have nothing going on. Seemed like the perfect chance to come and enjoy the magic of star sign stuff together.
I'm leaving. Chill, big guy, I'm just joking. You know about the IS-7 incident, yeah? Your old man's last case?
Wait a second! If this case has flashbacks where we can play as Miles' father. Oh my god! This is Gregory's last case? Oh, holy crap, Gregory's last case! Is this the case where Von Karma got his penalty? Oh my god, I need to know more immediately. Holy crap! This is the most important of cases I will ever play. You better pay attention, chat.
Of course. Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor.
Wow. Von Karma really is mean.
And I reviewed them again last night after your invite. See? I was also present at the trial all those years ago, although my memories of it are somewhat hazy.
Oh my god.
As a child, I was completely in awe of my father. The sight of him in court was inspirational. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, and opposite him, the man who would become my mentor, Manfred von Karma. It was quite a case. However, it ended with the conviction of the accused.
Right. Ah, so you were there too. You were in the courtroom for Gregory's final outing?
Well, that'll make explaining things easier. I wanted you to know something, say. That something being what really went down. Not the truth in those files, but the capital T truth. It was 18 years ago. Smack dab in the middle of a real doozy of a winter. The buildings were covered with a blanket of snow. Looked like the streets were lined with popsicles. But things weren't so innocent behind those frozen doors. In fact, some pretty sordid stuff went down.
Oh my god.
This was back before yours truly was the fine figure of an attorney you see before you today.
Oh my god. 18. Oh my god! I get to play as Gregory Edgeworth! Yes! Oh my god! Look! Oh my god! Yes, yes, yes! I am so excited! December 24th, 5 p.m. Oh god! Detention Center Visitors Room. Look at them!
Hey, Misery, this one really came out of the blue, huh? He did. We were calling before the ink on the arrest papers were even dry. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. Yes! Ah, my head. I'm getting a headache by screaming so much. Holy crap, I'm so excited! I'm here visiting a client with my assistant, a defender. Murder on Christmas Eve? What the world's coming to? In the dark of the night, at the end of the day, I saw two timely saviors are coming my way. Oh my god! Welcome, my friends, to the visitor's room, and if we're not friends yet, I'm sure we will be soon. Wow! Talk about an entrance! Look at the guard! Oh, I love this guy already! I was not expecting that! Neither was I. Sorry if I surprised you. I'm just so happy to see you both. Thanks so much for coming out. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. You're the accused, I take it. I am. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, at your service. Oh my god! I look forward to representing you. This is my assistant and defender. Pleased to meet you, sir! I, do everything I can to help! Come now, Edward. Calm down, please. Edward! You'll have to forgive him. He's still new to this. He's been helping me out part-time, but he's far from fully fledged lawyer material yet. Nonetheless, I'm hoping he'll be of some assistance investigating the particulars of this case. Gregory and Eddie, it's an honor to meet you both. My job as a defense attorney is to save my clients from wrongful convictions. So the first thing to do is establish whether or not he is truly innocent. Perhaps we could begin by having you tell us a little about yourself. What am I thinking? I haven't even told you my name. I'm Samson Tangaroa. But it really is you? Samson Tangaroa, the world's greatest confectioner? Oh my gosh, he makes cakes for a living! You flatter me, my young friends, and call me Samson. All my pals do. Wow, thanks, Samson, I will! I can't believe I'm meeting you in person! Seems Eddie knows something of our clients. Mr. E! It's the Samson Tangaroa! The singing, dancing, confectionery making sensation! Being able to dance while also making cakes? What shall we make today, kids? Oh my god! Yes, do the dance! Macaroons, waffles, whipped cream, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream. Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness waiting for you. Look there. What? Where? Over there. The oven's got something special to share. Bing! Now let's see what we've got for you. Ah! I almost started dancing along. Almost? No way! I got to sing with Samson Tangaroa! This is a dream come true! Hola! Hi Fatil! Welcome to the stream. Huh, thanks little pal. It means a lot to hear you say that. Oh my god. Speak Spanish? Unfortunately not. This is a full English stream. My apologies, but I think we need to discuss the matter at hand. Of course, I'm sure you're both very busy. Alright, where would you like me to start? Okay. So you're not just a confectioner, but also a singer and a dancer. I sure am. When I'm having fun, my body just starts moving. You must really enjoy making desserts. Haha, wouldn't be much of a confectioner if I didn't. I live to make sweets that will bring joy to others. Hey, they're not just things, they're works of art! Sparkling, dazzling, mouth-watering creations! The stuff that dreams are made of! So he aims to create joyous and inspirational pieces, does he? Yeah. My apologies, but I don't have the Spanish tag, I only have the English tag, so... If you could move on, you're allowed to move on. About the incident. I understand that the incident in question happened at your mansion. It did. We were holding an international confectionery contest there when a body was found inside of one of my creations. Inside one of your... No way! The detective in charge placed me under arrest because of it. And now, here I am. But I could never take a life. Never. I'm sure the police will see that too in time. They'll realize their mistake. I sure hope so. What can you tell us about the victim? His name is Artie Frost. He was taking part in the contest. Mr. Frost was a wonderful confectioner. His creations were things of real beauty. I just don't understand. Why did he have to die? I'm sorry. He seems genuinely upset over the victim's death. I think I have a pretty good measure of the man now. Mr. Tangaroa, there's just one last thing I need to confirm with you. You didn't kill Mr. Frost, correct? Correct. I swear to you, I didn't do it. Like I told you, I could never take a life. Never. He seems quite sincere. Alright, I'm going to take you at your word. Thank you for being so forthright with me. Likewise, it's good to talk to somebody other than those detectives. We'll head to the scene of the crime and see what we can learn. We'll be in touch when we have something more to tell you. Goodbye, Gregory. Goodbye, Eddie. I'm counting on you both. I love this man. He's not guilty. Okay, 6 p.m. Contest venue, the Fountain Room. That's the lady from the song. It's pretty cold out here, Mr. E. I never saw so much snow. Yes, and it doesn't seem like it will be letting up anytime soon. But just look at this place! What a sweet house Sans has got, it's huge! Yes, big enough to hold an international confectionery contest, no less. Welcome, welcome everyone! Come on in, we'll have some fun! Oh, it's a lady. Ooh. Oh no! Are you alright? I'm sorry. Would you happen to be Mr. Gregory Edgeworth by any chance? I would. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Eddie Fender, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. I love that he does the same bow. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, welcome to our humble abode. Judy Bounds. It's an honor to meet you both. I'm the housekeeper here, and Mr. Tangaroa's assistant. You're no housekeeper, you're Judy Bound! Hey, Judy Bound! Know a little something of my work. A little? Watch on TV every chance I get! I'm Bacon Bob's biggest fan! Hehe. It's very kind of you to say so. We'd be nothing without our fans. And what might Bacon Bob be? It's only the biggest show on TV! Every kid on the planet loves it! Dynamic duo Samson and Judy make delicious sweet stuff, all while singing and dancing! Like this, check it out! Oh god. Oh my god, not again! Oh no! What shall we make today, kids? Cookie dough! Caramel 2! Fluffy chew cream 2! Tiramisu! Bound everyone! Come along! Baking treats with a smile and a song! There, oh, where, who? There, it's true! The oven's got something special for you! Bing! Just take a bite and you will see! Ta-da! That was a wonderful performance, Mr. Fender! Bravo! I dance along every time I watch the show. Aww. Cute. Perhaps Miles might enjoy it too. I'll suggest it later. Ah! Don't mention... I'm gonna cry every time he mentions Miles now. No. Well, this dancing really takes it out of a guy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the world's worst hostess. Here, nothing relaxes the body and mind quite like a cup of tea. While she makes some cup of tea, I'm gonna have a sip of water. Oh, this is Kalen, correct? It's delicious. Its citrus aroma is said to improve one's ability to concentrate, as I recall. Interesting. So this is what Kalen tea tastes like, huh? How odd, the saucer's cold. Yes, it's so that the tea cools down more quickly. I'm afraid some of our guests don't like it too hot. You see, these teacups are very unique too. The design is really something. You think so? Thank you so much!
I ordered them all the way from France. They're my absolute favorites. They were designed by a marvelous sculptor named Paul Halik. Have you heard of him? He makes the most amazing tableware in the world.
You're clearly a big fan of his work.
Oh, I am. His teacups are my greatest treasure.
She's certainly not afraid to show when she's passionate about something. If you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to move on to the reason we're here. Can you tell us everything you know about the unfortunate incident that occurred earlier?
Of course. I'm sorry for getting so distracted. I guess I'm still in shock. Because I'm the one who found the body, you see.
You discovered the victim. Is it true that the body was recovered from inside one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations?
It is.
We were in the middle of the contest's final judgment phase when
I heard the sound of something big collapsing from Samson's room.
Samson, are you in here? Ah!
I opened the door and went inside it. There was Mr. Frost's body.
Thank you. Sorry to make you relive such a traumatic experience.
Think nothing of it, please. I only wish I had more to tell you.
Now, if you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to begin our investigation of the crime scene.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you have to save Samson. He's no murderer. He could never do something like that.
Of course.
Leave it to us, Miss Bound.
Thank you so much. I'll go serve the other tea then.
Come, Eddie, to the scene of the crime.
Yes, sir, Mr. Ree. Is that who I think it is? Oh my god! That's Detective Ben! His hair! His oh my gosh, look at him! No, wait, everything in his room's made of chocolate! Wow, impressive.
Can't believe I'm getting to see so many of Samson's creations up close and personal.
I might be more excited myself if this room wasn't a murder scene.
Hearing you say that just shivered down my spine.
It might just be the temperature in here. It's rather cold.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it is pretty chill. There he is! The fence on the scene already. That was fast.
A pleasure to meet you. Gregory Edgeworth. I'm representing Mr. Tangaroa. This is my assistant, Annie Federer.
Nice to meet you. Bad. Detective Tyrell Bad. Yes!
The detective in charge of is named Bad, a man of few words.
But... Ugh.
Something about this just doesn't taste right.
Sir, you're eating paper with ink. Fresh ink. Of course it doesn't taste right. No, you did not just swallow it! You're eating your notepaper.
He likes to chew over his thoughts rather literally, I'm afraid. It's helping to digest and remember them.
Dang, maybe this is a trick that Eustace can use. No, Eustace is not allowed to eat notepaper. We must keep him away from Eddie at all times.
That's a little quirk of his. Please try to ignore it. Although I'd be the first to admit that's easier said than done. With introductions out of the way, Detective Bad, would you mind if we joined you in investigating the scene?
Sorry, not gonna happen. What? How come? Mr. Edgeworth is Mr. Tangaroa's attorney. Yeah, and attorneys would do anything to get him off the hook. Even put words in their client's mouth. You think I need that on my crime scene? Mr. Edgeworth would never do something like that. I don't trust attorneys. Okay, kid?
Detective, you established my client's supposed guilt based on an investigation of the crime scene, correct?
That's usually how it works, yeah. What of it?
And extend me the same courtesy. I believe he is innocent, and I would like the chance to prove it.
You believe he's innocent? You didn't see the scene yet. That's some flimsy lawyering.
That's exactly why I wish to see the scene for myself. I need to ensure that my belief is based on solid evidence and sound reasoning.
You about to tell me you're not leaving until I let you look over the scene?
I am.
Fine.
Knock yourself out. Thank you, detective.
There it is!
But I'm coming around with you. Like I said, I don't trust attorneys. If you're good at that, go ahead and get to it.
That was a lollipop this whole time?
Yes. I must admit I didn't see that coming either.
Well, I saw it coming because I already met him 18 years in the future.
You better get started then. I need you to take notes, Eddie.
On it, misery!
Let's get this over with.
Begin the investigation! Gregory just looks so cool.
So this is where the body was discovered.
Yeah.
We took it away already, but everything else is just how we found it.
What is this coin?
It appears the body was inside the treasure chest.
Yeah.
A woman by the name of Bound found it. Seems she heard something breaking and came in to see whatever it was. What was the sound? Probably I just got a little more information. There's something else in here. Huh? It's... looks like the seal of some kind. With somebody's initials and an intricate shape carved into it.
Is it for making those fancy wax things on documents? Do you think it belonged to the victim?
No idea, but it's gotta get locked anyway, so I'll take that. It's really rather impressive making an entire ship out of chocolate.
That's something Tangaroa for you! Don't you just want to take a big bite out of it?
Which part to bite first though? That's the real ass question, you know? Bite any part of it, kid. You'll be off this crime scene so fast your head will spin.
Hey, it was just a joke! Stop staring at me like that!
Just sometimes wish Eddie could keep his cool a little better. Something else? I think that was it.
Yeah.
It isn't checkmarked yet. Was corner scheme?
Yeah, there wasn't...
Oh, I can go to right. Okay. Voyage of the Red Rover. It's titled Voyage of the Red Rover. After sailing the seven seas, the legendary ship happens upon a great treasure at last. This piece is a tribute to the adventurous spirit of our ancestors. Who knew? So they sailed 6 whole seas before they found anything. Not exactly the luckiest crew out there. Sometimes you gotta take a bunch of wrong turns before you find the truth. That's what being a real detective is all about. Did they even have detectives back in those days? A broken piece. When the stance for the ship is broken. I see. Ship must have collapsed into the treasure chest and smashed it open.
Wait! Do you think... Could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship? If he was, this becomes an accidental death and not a murder.
You too serious? Don't worry, detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing a possibility.
I was being serious, though.
Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body? Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see for yourselves. Death was from blunt force trauma.
I see.
What about a weapon? Has it been found yet? You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that. The detective's not one for sharing much, I see. Would you mind if we borrowed this? No skin of my nose. It's not like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body.
An instant camera? Like it's disposable or something? Where's Faraday West Edgeworth Where? We are in the past now, Z! Look at this man! This is Edgeworth's father! We are actually playing as the man himself! I'm freaking out!
No, it means that it develops the pictures right there and then when you take them.
No way, sounds pretty convenient.
No then, I better get my facts straight and take down some notes of my own. Something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. I need to call on my powers of deduction to figure out why.
Okay. You just missed Rachel, excuses. We just solved the murder! Where's Judy? I think she's outside of this room. You will see her soon. There's a deduction here. But what? What is this? Why is there a whole chunk out of it? Is that from over there? It has a weird shape from being over there. Why is this so suspicious? What are the crimes he notes? Inside the chocolate treasure chest, cause of death appears to have been blood loss following blunt force trauma. Where's the chocolate with the blood on it? Yeah? Where's the chocolate with the blood on it? Is that the only thing that has been removed from the scene is the body? Yeah, that and the piece of cloth it was wrapped in. There's something here doesn't quite add up. It doesn't. Take another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing. You're right. Don't remember anybody mentioning they'd removed the blood along with the body. How do you do other than that? I am completely recovered from the illness and I have been completely revitalized from my break. So I'm in a better shape than ever. Hope you've been doing well as well. I'm doing okay. Good for you. Let me check with forensics. What is the mystery? What did you figure out? Compare the treasure chest in the photograph to the real thing. In the picture, the solid chocolate bottom continues underneath the deceased's head. And yet, the part of the chest is now gone. The part with blood all over it! Exactly. So did the police remove it? Or perhaps the killer? It wasn't forensics. Saying nobody took anything like that. Wait. Interesting. Somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene. Could be. We have some puzzle pieces. I mean, the sound breaking was from the broken stand, I think. Yes? There we go. The stand broke, and the ship collapsed with it. The loud sound it made through Miss Bound running. Yeah, said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got in here. Why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break? Ah! Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go. Could that really have been the case? No. I think he was killed before. I don't think it's with the broken piece, otherwise it was covered in blood. Tea set. It's a very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. This tea set is one of the same design as the one Miss Bound served with us earlier. You don't say. You think Sansa could have been drinking tea out of that? The pot and cup were just for prints. His were the only ones they found. Or was that the case with the utensils too? Everything else had been washed, so there weren't any prints to find. If Miss Tangaroa was wearing gloves while he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why prints were only found on the teacup and cup. Oh, it's a piece of evidence. Okay. Who is this man? And you are? Ooh. Sorry, meditating. Did you want something, detective? Oh, I'm an attorney, not a detective. Gregory Edgeworth, a pleasure to meet you. And I'm his assistant, Eddie Fender. I see. Name's Carmelo Gusto. I'm a confectioner, here for this contest. You are? What's your specialty, Mr. Gusto? Oh my god. The art of air and sugar. No way! Look at that! It's a little baby seahorse! It's a dragon. Noble soaring creature of the skies. That's a dragon? Does look more aquatic than airborne. No need to sugarcoat it. My design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Shangfa, where all this is over. I need to train hard. Perhaps you should get off the subject of its design sense for now. So what are you doing here, Mr. Cousteau? Didn't think you were allowing civilians on the scene yet. Detective wants to know more about one of the pieces in here. Makes sense, seeing as he's a contestant. Perhaps just ask him a few questions of my own. Those are some interesting implements you use, Mr. Cousteau. Chicken! Sugar blowing pumps. They put air into the sugar. That's so cool! It's like watching a sword master do his thing! I'm no master. Not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one way or another. That's why I wear red. That way it doesn't matter when I make a mess. Uh-oh! The way of the confection is a lonely one. You never stop learning. Not until you die! The way of the confectioner sounds like a long one too, if he's still injuring himself on a daily basis. What can you tell us about the contest? Based on what we've seen so far, flavor doesn't seem to be the only criteria at play. The contest was Tangaroa's idea. It's about art. Confectionery as art. Confectionery is art? Art you can eat. Every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible. The whole place does kind of smell like chocolate. Tangaroa is a genius. A once-in-a-generation talent. Flavor and flair, he has it all. And if you can't talk to the god of confections himself, you can't win. I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kind of hard, yeah? As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. That's the real prize here. Nothing else matters. So you're competing for a title, effectively. And a treasure. The ultimate cookbook. Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's all written down here. It's a list of rules I was giving out to contestants. Okay, let me read that real quick. Ultimate Cookbook. The title of world's greatest confectioner. Judging will proceed clockwise from the leftmost room. All contestants to gather in Mr. Tangaroa's room when judging ends. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Stands and display materials will be provided. Contestants may not enter another contestant's room until judging has been completed. Sorry, I don't know much about what happened. I only heard about it after the judging was over. How was the judging organized? It started at 3 PM. Tangaroa began making the rounds right around then. He left his own room, then worked his way around the venue clockwise. My creations were the first to be judged. After that, we went to Scone's room. She's another one of the contestants. What can you tell us about her? Ruthless. Brutal. There's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with Green, a kind of dreamscape. Then, last of all, Frost's room. His thing was flavored ice. Sculptures this time, so I heard. Bound found the body. Bound for the body, while Tangaroa is still making the rounds. She panics, ran to call the cops. Tangaroa went right on judging. Claims he didn't know a thing about it until afterward. Went ahead and looked over the victim's work. He thought the guy was nowhere to be seen. Pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's book. I don't have enough information to challenge him on that one yet. By the way, Detective Bad. What were you and Mr. Cousteau talking about earlier? I was going to ask about the piece on the wall over there. The one in the frame. Seemed like something was off. Ah! I better ask somebody who knows about the stuff. But then you bozo showed up and pulled me away from my very important work. Perhaps we can take a closer look at it together. Can't take a hint, can you? Mr. Cousteau, would you mind helping us out? Of course, confectionery is my life. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you. That's very kind of you. There's a handprint. Are these finger marked? Yeah, but we don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints, no ID.
Finger marks without prints would certainly be important to the case.
So someone has gloves on. It's a real head scratcher, all right.
Not really. I guess whoever it was wore gloves.
Aw, where's your sense of romance, of adventure?
There doesn't tend to be much of either at the crime scene, Eddie.
This. Who knew you could make such a picture of this pretty out of chocolate? Samson really is a god among men.
It's really made of chocolate, though. Looks far too much like a regular illustration to me.
Chocolate is yum. Yes, I love chocolate as well. You have a good eye, I'm impressed. You have a good eye, I'm impressed. That's not piece of candy. That's the ultimate cookbook.
The ultimate cookbook. In other words, the grand prize.
What? So it's not made of chocolate after all? No, the book is simply framed in song. Tangaroa showed it to all of us when he gathered us here to explain the rules.
So the participants knew that the grand prize was in this room this whole time.
Anyway, you see the two rights. The frame. Something's missing.
Ah, the auto detective Bad was going to ask Mr. Gusto about earlier, yes.
The right detective. Something is missing from this frame.
So it's not just me.
Huh? What's missing?
I better show
Eddie which part of the frame is missing some chocolate. It's very obvious. Obvious, my guy.
Look at the decorative work in the corner here. Something was missing, no?
Oh yeah, it's different from the other side.
It's not like Tangaroa.
The balance is all wrong.
That's not all. Take a look around. Every confection in this room is missing some small bit.
Ah, someone's trying to sabotage the man. You're right, the candle holder, nautical stuff, they're all like that. Did something deliberately damage them?
Ah. That's a very good question. Or did Tangaroa just wanted to look like somebody messed with his work?
He never do that in his own creations, never!
Could this have some deeper meaning for the case?
Yes.
Oh, you were right, Eddie.
Yeah, but it sure is chilly in here. He has a coat on.
Yes, it was exactly warm out in the fountain room either. But it's even colder in here. Would you like to borrow my jacket?
No, I'm fine. And besides, you said you'd give it to me when I finally got my attorney's badge. Ah! Oh, that's so sad. Wait, does he have the jacket on him? Oh. I don't think he has. I think it's in his office somewhere. Oh.
I did, didn't I? Why did they have the heat down so low?
Chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a look behind that panel on the wall.
What panel?
Over there. Look at that! It was here this whole time. Fahrenheit! Yay! Something I do not understand.
It's one in each of the contest rooms.
Tangaroa hit them so they wouldn't spoil the aesthetic of our works.
What do the controls do?
They adjust the temperature and the lighting. Goes all the way down to minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Cool enough to keep any confectionery from melting.
So in effect, each room is a giant freezer.
It's 59 degrees in here. No wonder I'm cold. Hey, Detective Bad, mind if we turn it up a little? No.
Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work.
But I'm not a detective.
The same goes for attorneys, Eddie.
We must never disturb the scene of the crime. Get used to the cold. It's all part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it.
You know the temperature by heart, huh? Guess it's your job.
It's the very least I should know. Any real confectioner should be able to tell you that and more.
Alright, what about lollipops and cream?
If it's not too hot or too humid, a lollipop should be just fine. Should be fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept at around 50 degrees.
Need to watch out for heat and humidity, huh? Duly noted.
The Bad's kind of brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he?
Suppose he must be very fond of them. I believe there's any more to be found here.
No, but I now have the last puzzle piece, I think. Damaged creations and why did it break? Someone tried to sabotage the ship.
Both Mr. Tangaroa's creations are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody really went all out.
You think it could have been the killer?
Certainly a possibility. Either way, I think we can safely say the stand was damaged in a mystery person's tampering spree. When it broke, the ship fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise.
There's something beneath here.
This is a fine selection of nautical paraphernalia.
You think one of them could be the murder weapon?
No, they're all made out of chocolate. I have a hard time bludgeoning somebody to deal to death with one of them.
Can't tell what's real in here.
They really do look genuine. I can hardly tell the difference myself. The testament of Mr. Tangaroa's skills. How's it looking over here, officer?
Nothing of interest to cupboard or...
Yes, sir!
So there is.
Oh, no, there isn't. Just the blowtorch used for cooking and some tableware, sir.
You heard the man, Mr. Tootie. That's the ad, am I right?
No.
So you do have something to add?
Oh, no.
Can't get a straight answer out of anybody.
Perhaps you should ask a straight question.
Done.
I'm a bit tired. Just... made of chocolate. White light makes them look better.
Interesting!
Cool. Nice tidbit of information there.
Have something to add?
A real crime scene! This is so exciting! This isn't a game, Eddie. I need you to take it seriously.
Don't worry, Mr. E.
I'm taking notes on everything.
You are? What kind of notes?
That's about how all this delicious stuff is made. Can't wait to try some of it for myself. Not playing around, Edward. Take this seriously.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
What am I missing?
There's still a guy here.
What are you investigating, officer?
Sir, I was just taking the temperature of the water here.
And what have you learned?
Oh, it's warm, sir.
Warm?
The stream in this room flows into the main fountain, and then the water is circulated back to the rooms.
Unusual to say the least. I've never seen a house quite like this one.
Rich folks, they're all crazy. Wait, that was it? That was important information!
I think we're about done here for now.
Okay, crazy people. Yeah. I mean, this clearly is the room of a rich person. I needed that. Alright, good job, everyone.
Well, if I wasn't convinced before, I am now. Tangaroa did it, no two ways about it.
What do you mean?
All the rooms in this place lock from the inside. The only way to unlock them from the outside is with this key.
I see. And what access?
Who do you think? Tangaroa, and it's the only one. There aren't any copies. With the mansion key, Tangaroa could slip into anybody else's room anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted.
Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it?
Nope, which is exactly what makes him a suspect. But you can't explain your thinking.
Oh my god! Okay, why I think Tangaroa did?
If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up, so he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. One thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney. Do you also believe it was Mr. Tangaroa who damaged the other pieces in this room? Yep. I know you have to believe your client. That's your job. But I'm a detective, and I serve the law. No matter how squeaky clean somebody might seem, a A suspect is still a suspect. I fully understand your reasoning, Detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own? Do your worst. Just as a detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. Now that the bot just accepts his version of events. In fact, I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims. Wow, more tired than I thought. It's not even been 3 hours. What do we have? What are in the crime scene notes? Victor's body was found in Samson Tangero's room inside a chocolate treasure chest. The lid was closed until the ship collapsed. Wait, what did Bat say again? He smashed in the lid. That's correct. Part of the ship's treasure chest that was covered in blood is missing. Every other item in the room is also missing a piece of itself. The cause of death appears to have been blood following blood trauma. Why would he smash his own creation, though? That part I don't get. I mean... why would he smash it? He could have just opened it, right? I don't think... it has to do something with the crime scene notes. This is the only one I can think of at the moment. Let me see. I don't think I have anything that can disprove this part. I don't think he did it deliberately.
Objection!
Oh my god, that's his voice? Oh my god, his voice is so light. Oh my god, that is not the voice I was expecting for this man. I will still voice him like Edgeworth as Miles because that's tradition. Because that's just the best fitting choice. It was established that the body was hidden inside the chest. That Miss Bound only came running into this room when she heard a sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing. Ah! Sure, seems likely, based on the evidence. And yet you assert that it was Mr. Tangaroa who had smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. And if that had occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroa, who was out judging the contest at that time. I never said he did it then and there. He could have done something to the stand, so it collapsed when he was in the middle of judging.
Objection!
No. Have you any way of proving that assertion? Nope. But the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time. So he doesn't have anything to conclusive. Have you found any prints in this room besides those of Mr. Tangaroa? Yep, in the door. But we found Tangaroa's and Frost's prints on there too. We were all brought in here for a briefing, right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. I take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroa's works for prints yet. Why would? We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so. Fine, but if you don't find anything, your guy's still top of my list, got it? You, check all this chocolate stuff for prints, now. Yes, sir, right away! Detective Bad! We finished dusting the chocolates and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroa, sir! Go on, whose? Delicia Scone, sir! She's one of the contestants! Good work, you can go back to whatever you were investigating before. Yes, sir! So it seems to have a suspect besides Mr. Tangaroa. Even without your lawyerly input, I wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway.
I'll go speak to Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself. Delicious Scone, Mr. Cousteau mentioned her too. He said that she was ruthless, that she'd do anything to win.
The Scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, huh, Mr. E?
Yes, and I think we better try to speak with her ourselves as well.
Detective Bat, would you mind if we accompanied you?
Babysitting you is not my job.
Aw, come on!
But I guess I did pick up a couple of useful clues already. So if you want to tag along, be my guest.
Thank you, Detective. You're too kind. But Detective Bat, sir! I don't think that's such a good idea. The lead prosecutor is still busy in there.
Uh-oh. It'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow.
Who is this him? Who did they assign the case to?
Manfred von Karma.
What? They gave it to von Karma? He hasn't lost a case in 25 years!
Manfred von Karma. A living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We've never faced one another in the courtroom, but I've heard plenty of stories. They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict. But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need only to continue to do what I believe is right.
We are gonna see von Karma in his prime! Oh my god. This is gonna be terrifying. Okay, let's do this. Let's see von Karma. That's not von Karma. Also, that lady looks terrifying. December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contest venue, Scone's room. Whoa, a candy castle! Look, there's even some little elves to go along with it.
Very impressive. Room's laid out pretty much the same as Sangaroa's.
It's not as cold though, that's something.
Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel in there too.
Over there where that orange light is, yeah?
We better take a closer look at it when we can. It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this wood cream-covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicious Scone. Where is Miss Scone?
Maybe I'm just over here, dearie.
Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicious Scone at your service. Some cheeky blighters back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious. Called a lovely boy at 34. Unexpected, to say the least.
Lovely boys, really? Even Mr. E?
Oh yes, dear. You're the detective over there. You're all lovely boys to me. I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad. Detective Bad.
I wonder just how old she is.
Finish yours up so we can get out of here, Mr. Turney. Yes, alright.
Oh god, there he is! What's the meaning of this? Chit-chatting with the defense! What the frick?! What the frick, fucker?! Mr. Edge was so scary, I just stepped out of the castle!
Von Karma.
What? He's back with Von Karma?!
Sorry, mannequins! The notorious prosecutor Von Karma himself just entered out of a fairy castle. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law.
I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear. Never to show your sniveling face again.
What a thoroughly rude individual.
Those piercing eyes, the furrowed brow. You're even scarier than they say.
And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We were hoping that you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma.
Ha! And why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy?
This clearly isn't going to be easy.
So long as your inquiries are limited to this room,
I suppose I'll allow it. Why the sudden change of heart?
You, the tall fella.
Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember?
I didn't ask for your opinion. The thoughts of a lowly detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirits. But see to it that those worms don't step out of line.
Why do I have to?
I'm not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's room. Good day. What the frick? Great, more babysitting.
Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together?
Because they hate each other.
They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be bad blood between them.
Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. Guess we better get to it.
Indeed. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much.
Hold up.
I haven't been over this room yet either. We're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait till I'm done.
Huh? But I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet?
Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did. That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose. Let's take a look over the room together, Detective. It worked out well enough before. And you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go. What kind of screwball attorney asks to have a detective breathing down his neck? Guess I'm stuck with you for a little while longer.
Yes, you're amazing, mystery!
You have first thanks, Detective Bad. Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here.
Of course, we understand. Now, shall we begin? Another investigation! Right out of the gate! What's in here?
It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle is made out of sugar and cream.
I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something.
I didn't know you were into such fantastical things.
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, I didn't mean to get so carried away there.
Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you.
You have a son, Mystery?
I do. He's still in elementary school. And yet he'd rather read a statue book than a fairy tale. Can't help but worry that his interests will make it hard for him to make friends.
Don't say that. You sound super interesting. We'll make a ton of friends. Me included, I'm sure.
I like to think you'd be more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie.
Aww.
A big brother, huh?
Guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously.
Indeed. And with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation?
Aww, that was so cute.
The doors of the castle have been left wide open.
Yeah, was the guy born in the barn? You could at least close them behind him! I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Karma's face, Eddie. Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Got your tab to have a physics investigation to official localization. Then, yeah. Make sure to catch up before you like... I'm being too stressed because it's been 2 weeks. But yeah, make sure to finish it before you watch back again. It's hard to catch up. I can imagine. I know someone else who has the same struggles. There's new stuff popping up every day. Yeah, I can imagine.
Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see. Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me.
There's new stuff. It just went through all of Persona. My gosh, guys. Persona 3 onwards. Wow. Good job on that. Oh, by the way, if you're gonna leave, make sure to vote for a game you would like for me to play on my Blue Sky. That post is still onwards for a week. Maybe I should extend the timer because there haven't been any other votes. Time to post for something funky. Yeah. Have a blast, my guy. But make sure it isn't offensive. Otherwise, I will report you. But yeah, Yakuza 0 is already on the list, so... yeah. I will look it up before I put it in the bracket, so be considerate. Also, what? I bought the Hatsune... you did not! You did not play Fortnite! Did you play Fortnite? Oh, no! No, you did not. I have over 3k hours just because of Hatsune Miku. Don't judge. I don't like battle royales. They make me too stressed. Even if they have Hatsune Miku, I'm not taking that risk. The only battle royale I ever played, like for a long period, was Tetris 99. I never won a battle royale in Tetris 99. Oh well. We must continue! You're allowed to leave, Nazi. Vote for the blue sky. And for people who watch me, I have a blue sky with a post. For my anniversary, I'm gonna be playing a game at your request. So choose a game for me to play and then they will face off in the bracket. So, yeah, have fun with that.
Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Cream's going all runny.
Runny? Let me see.
It's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle?
What if I replied Fortnite? I mean, yeah, that is an option. And I don't have enough games yet to be liked, so it maybe end up in the bracket. So yeah, you're allowed to post it if you want. It is free to play after all.
Alright, tell me what you want to look at first.
What are these hex shapes? Hexa what?
Huh, these pillars, they have
Hexagonal indentations. Ah, bless my English. Have you played Metaphor yet? I haven't. I asked it for Christmas, but I didn't get it.
Looks like something's supposed to go in there. But whatever they were, they're long gone.
You haven't? Sweet. I mean, does it count as a Persona game? Otherwise, I don't think it counts as a Persona game, so it has less chance to be played this year because the Persona games are on my bingo. It kind of is. I will ask. I will ask if it counts, but it's amazing. I would love to play it for myself.
Castle's covered in whipped cream, Sue. Maybe a giant strawberry.
Giant strawberry with a hexagonal bottom.
Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't exactly blame a guy for wishing.
I prefer bananas myself. I like both of them.
Blueberries for me.
I think... For me, it's the best game next to Persona 4. Wow. Impressive. 2 big rock crystals. Looks like something's using a castle for storage. Kinda expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know! Maybe there's giant uncut gemstones. Also, it has Louise. I do not know who Louise is. Maybe this whole thing is based on the story about the castle with the priceless treasure hidden inside.
I think I treat my priceless treasures with a little more care.
That man can do anything to me and he got my vote? Oh god. Then I will be... If I ever play Metaphor, I will be looking out for the guy called Louise.
There's something in the bottom of them. It's like a little stand or something.
Aha! Gotcha! That's the hexagonal part. I was right, there are gemstones! The stands must be... so they can be put on display.
Well, whatever they are, it seems like they're not just a large set of paperweights.
Nope. Nope. Ta-da! They were in here.
The rock crystal stands and the pillars in front of the castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars.
Oh yeah, hexagon to hexagon. Makes perfect sense.
If that's the case, then why were they being hidden inside the castle?
Interesting.
There's blue tarp. There's a bunch of blue cloth back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls altogether. Well, it's certainly not made of candy. No. No idea what this stuff is for.
I voted. Okay, bye. Yeah. Bye-bye now. See you next time.
Almost looks like somebody hid it in here. And I think I've seen fabric of the same color somewhere else before. There's also blue cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle. I imagine both must belong to Miss Scone.
Miss Scone?
What were you using the items inside the castle for?
Oh, those! Sorry, Lampkin, but I'm not allowed to say.
Let me guess. Von Karma.
How did you know? Please don't ask me to tell you. You'll have my guts for garters.
Seems the prosecution really has no intention of sharing anything with its offense. Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but...
What's that theory? You're interested in my little trinkets?
Your trinkets?
Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people lovely and relaxed.
You use rock crystals and cloth to do that.
I do. It's wonderful. You should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside them.
Wow, those things are lamps?
Oh, that's not even the half of it. Those gloves hold an even more exciting secret.
She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets.
Since you're here, why don't I give you a lovely voice and taste of my relaxation magic? Oh, Buddy Bumpkin, can you get it all out and set it up for me?
The name is bad.
Is that a no? What are you being so selfish, Buddy Bumpkin?
You, have you finished taking photos of the room yet?
Yes, sir, we have, sir.
Then help Miss Scone here with something, will you?
Yes, sir, right away, sir.
Oh, you're such a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Buddy B?
That's amazing, Miss Scone. You got to do exactly what you wanted. That's some talent.
Thank you ever so much, Buddy Kiss, and you love obviously lovely.
She's even giving nicknames to the forensics guy now. Guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So, what about this is supposed to be relaxing exactly?
Oh, don't be a big sourpuss, Buddy B. The fun's only just beginning. Oh, so lovely. You can switch it on now.
Yes, ma'am. Whoa!
Huh.
Wow, it's beautiful!
It is. I wish my son was here to see it.
Don't mention your son. I'm gonna cry.
Isn't it?
Isn't it though? Isn't it just wonderful? The 4 adorable elves in the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my thing, you see. And I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen?
All of the elves must be feeling a little left out.
This was how it was supposed to look for the contest. And I'm glad your lovely boys got to see it at least.
Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too?
Oh, what's happened there, I wonder? I think we'd better take a look at the lamps and the elves one more time.
Aha! Da-da-da-da! That's the blunt sports drama.
Eureka!
Eureka! Look at this a second back. Oh no! It's freaking blood!
That's a bit steep.
Oh my god, seriously?
Lamps appear to be broken. Bulbs are smashed, both of them. Maybe they fell and broke on the floor?
Look, there's a red stain on the one on the left.
That's not just a stain, that's...
Yep, it's blood, alright. I can smell it. What blood? Why is there blood on this lamp?
Why is there blood on this lamp? Could it have something to do with why its bulb is broken? Better take a closer look at the other one too. So Miss Scone had actually intended to use these lamps in her display.
Then why were they stashed inside the castle?
Maybe because
they're broken?
Except there's plenty of other places you could have put them.
This place they hide some salt is in some sugar. Is that how this goes?
Or perhaps the best place to hide in a tree is in the forest. Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in her final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I need to point it out by making a deduction.
Oh! It's against the rules. It's against the rules.
Eureka!
That's what it wanted from me, seriously, not the blood stain from the blunt force object that is clearly the murder weapon. God, game, what?
Take a look at the list of rules from the contest, Detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would have been against the rules. Is that what was stashed away in the castle? I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone before we can say for sure. Well... I see! That's how it's connected. Okay. That's the murder weapon. We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt. We found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon? For sure! It could definitely be doing enough damage to kill someone! You, science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet? Yes, sir! Just got done a minute ago, sir! The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it! There you have it. Haha. So the murder weapon is hidden in Miss Scones' room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects. Interesting. Now, let's check the room temperature because everything is melting. Small door on the wall, just like Mr. Tangaroa's. Here, I'll open it. Temperature 68. Let's set to green. Didn't Gusto say green needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here is too high. Aha! That is odd. I wonder why. Well, she's also a victim of sabotage. Da 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 da! Whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that. And yet... when you opened the doors to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah, they were sturdier than expected. Sturdy? That's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries. I think we'd better take another look at those handles, don't you? What the? I think it's safe to say those handles aren't made of candy. It's not just the handles, the whole castle, the little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top. What? None of this confectionery art after all? No, simply made to look like candy, with the cream having been added to lend an air of authenticity. Ah, she's cheating so hard! She's breaking the rules! So not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Scone made a mockery of the rules. Yeah, guess she's not gonna get crowned world's greatest now. And why is it so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all this? Fake confections added to the court record. That's a good question. I think we'd better go ask Miss Scone herself. Ah, there's Miss Scone. Okay, there we go. What's the matter, Miss Scone? You seem a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago. Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two? Why, yes, nothing happened at all. But you just said yes. That was a hello yes, you silly boy. And she's just a sweet little sugar dumpling. Remind me, what was your name again? Oh, Eddie? Eddie Lumpkin? Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell. Eddie Lumpkin? It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment. She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E. Never mind that now. We should ask her a few questions while we can. Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest? Of course, dearie. Let's see. It all started about 10 in the morning. That's when we set to work. And, well, I spent most of the time here in my room getting everything ready, as you expect. Oh, and then there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think? Afternoon tea. It's an English tradition. Chance to drink tea, during snack, and make small talk. So kind of like recess? I suppose you could say that. Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Pag-like? You're such a clever boy. When did I become Greggy? Where is this afternoon tea served? Out in the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. They do it at the same hour every break during the contest. Lay on a nice little spread, you know. But today, only me, Samson, Silly Pants, and Moody Jr. were there for it. Sammy Poople had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time. The poor old Chili Winks and Gusto Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet, bless them. You're saying everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto was present. That's right, dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I was about to miss out on tea and cake served by our two TV superstars. I'm right back to work when I'd finished, though. Tooled off while the others were still napping away. At any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms? Oh, I know, dear. Don't be silly. That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Caught red-handed. Wait, so you admit you were there? Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear! I suppose I'd better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear? What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room? Oh, I suppose you call it research? Research? Sammy Poople's a dab hand when it comes to the old sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just hopped in for a quick bit of research, like I say. What kind of research leaves fingerprints? Yes, well, it stands to reason I'd leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, it's hardly research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it? What? You ate little pieces of them! So, the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room, that was all you. I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. Just, I had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I? I didn't want poor Sammy Poople getting upset, so it was just the teeniest bites and pieces. And the stand holding up the ship. You took a bite of that too, I suppose. Oh yes, dear. Of course I did. It was you. You brought the whole thing crashing down. Oh, I'm sorry, my lovely. Truly, I am. Hold on, is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You were heading out for a second helping of sweets. Look, please just believe me. I never killed anybody, but promise. Actions were certainly suspicious, but that's about all we can say for now. Miss Scone, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees? Because I hate the cold, don't I, dearie? Besides, being chilly is not good for a girl. If I want to keep my fresh-faced complexion, I've got to be careful around these things. We ladies have to stay young, don't you know? How old is she really, though? That's what I'd like to know. It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees, or it starts to deflate. Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only gone and made a whoopsie. Wait, you really didn't know that? Huh. World glass confectioner, my foot. Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she is ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. The scone grows more mysterious by the minute. Well, what do you think of this? Your confections are fake. Oh, look at that! Don't you have the loveliest toy, Scraggly Pegleg? But that color, oh no, that won't do. Here, let me put a lovely splash of cream on it. Please stop that. She's not admitting it. So you have to just... She's not real. She's a fraud. Ta-da! The scone appears to lack basic knowledge about confectionery is created. And she says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Probably the actions of a world-class confectioner competing it for a major prize. Yeah, not what I picture top pro acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence, or was she not actually a confectioner at all? Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for it that she went into that room to do some research. Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder? There's no way of saying so for certain just yet. But she is hiding something. That much I'm certain of. This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others. Stop fatally the poor guy out, Miss Scone. Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my clothes and plus one of my little machines went missing. Cloth and what sort of machine exactly? Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those little cloths are connected to these little jigs. They're called, full spectrum light emitting devices. They send light down the main cable and ran into each optical fiber strand. That's what makes the cloth grow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. bright red like ferocious fiery flames. Cold blue like liquid crystals of ice. They have these special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all. Forgive me, so these machines, they're what makes the special luminous cloth light up in all these beautiful colors, Mr. E. I see, so much for new technology, I can barely keep up. So these light-emitting devices, you lost one of them in a piece of luminous cloth. That's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have got you. This cloth, it could have something to do with the case.
Haha, that's what I needed. Yes! Okay.
Okay. That's enough investigating for now, don't you think? Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest. Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would have surely found a murder weapon when he searched his room. Yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to. Detective Bat, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone.
Oh, how could you, Batty Bumpkin? Stop scaring me like that!
Here's Detective Bat is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma as Miss Scone as I am. Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us?
Of course, dear. Where are we off to?
Find Mr. Von Karma.
There he is, in the corner!
Mr. Von Karma, I'd like to speak with you, if that's alright.
Just. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found a murder weapon.
We did. It was in Miss Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest.
Ha! Nonsense! Doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangaroa is guilty. As long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain.
How can you be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? You have an explanation, I assume, for why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room.
Of course I do. And I'll be delighted to share it with you. Woo! Face up! Face up against Von Karma! Woo! Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lands in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. Body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon, considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
Wait, what? So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Scone's room?
It is indeed. But it is more than an assertion. It is a fact, based on my own investigation.
You mean you have proof that he did so?
I don't need any such thing.
But...
If you have a rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic.
My guy, what? No piece of evidence.
That's a cloth! Holy crap! One of the cloths was stolen!
Objection!
Yes!
It's true that the murder weapon and the bloodstained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. Something else remains that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will.
Yes! Cloth!
The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Is that not one of the same luminous cloths found in Miss Scone's room?
What's that, dearie? One of my lovely colorful cloths at the scene of the crime, you say?
Luminous cloth. Nonsense. I see no light to speak of.
I guess he doesn't know how it works. It may look like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent.
Ahaha! That was easy, Von Karma.
Look at his face. I don't think he was expecting that. But the fact that the cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. You have to show why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth in Miss Scone's room went missing. And if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? Sunlight and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. Seeing as the body was trapped in said cloth, surely even you have to admit that it's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest.
Ah! Craggy Peg, like how could you? You're accusing me of all people?
I'm not accusing you of anything just yet, but I do think you're hiding something.
That's not...
Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Scone's prior to the murder. Exactly. It's something funny. Only that you've walked so carelessly into my trap. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in the room. So sorry to have to break it to you. What does he mean? Tangaroa spotted them before the contest began, and noted that the lamps and cloths contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them, and took them to his own room for safekeeping.
Wait, did you just put the lamps and the cloth in the castle? To just mess with us?
What?
Oh my god, he's so satisfied by it. It looks like he's satisfied by the hit.
Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost, as he had secluded himself in his room. The only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing, as he did, the only key. And as you know now, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I have had everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel? To have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom. This cannot be happening.
Wait, all our hard work was for nothing? Miss Scone, why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroa? Well, dear, Mannequin said that if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion.
Mr. Von Karma said that.
And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You accused me yourself just a second ago.
This is pathetic. Curse you, Von Karma. It led us to the murder weapon, knowingly make certain assumptions as a result.
One more thing, my pathetic friend.
There are 2, and only 2, sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon. 2? Yes, those of Delicia Scone, Samson Tangaroa. No others were found. Tangaroa used the lamps he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide in his Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints. At this rate, no one will even need to testify. But perfect evidence will all do the talking for me as I secure his guilty verdict.
Objection!
But wait, what about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room? What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body. Ugh. I have enough to disprove any of what he's saying. No more pitiful objections. Then get out of my sight! Close the door behind you!
Mr. E!
I'm about to just give up.
I see you mean to waste more of my time. But, escort him off the premises now.
No. This investigation is not over yet. Detective Bad.
What is the meaning of this?
Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half solved. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified. Ah, he's right. We still have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for.
We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, detective. Or whatever they might be, they're no business of the defense.
Objection!
I beg to differ. There's a price of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that spotted Detective Bad.
What?
This is yet unidentified something that was left in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
The fingerprints.
Take that!
There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer.
You could certainly explain how the prints didn't end up on the murder weapon.
Haha!
How do you know so much about the crime scene?
Because I let them look around.
You let the defense examine the scene, Bad. Are you out of your mind?
I don't remember you telling me not to.
Insolent worm. You would do well to remember this, detective. That the results of your next salary review is up to me.
Oof.
Detective Bad's in trouble now, too. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth.
As long as you remember that the results of your salary review is up to your performance on this case.
A mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation.
I'm almost impressed.
but it's entirely possible that finger marks belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creations.
Objection!
Can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there's still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up. Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat?
Oh, stop it, Greggy, stop it, stop it! Why are you being so mean to your poor pal Delisha? And with the nibbling poor Sammy people's sweeties, what more do you want?
I don't want to have to make you a suspect, that much is certain. But you lied to us, and you're still not telling us everything.
Oh, Greggy, stop it! Stop bullying me!
Sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that?
I'm sorry, alright? I'm sorry, I'm just a silly muddle-headed girl. What do you want me to say?
I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place. Enough! I'll thank you to keep your basic accusations to yourself. Evidence is everything in courtroom, in case you forgot. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up. This isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, what proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts? Da-da-da-da! Fake confections! Every single one of Miss Scone's creations break the rules of the contest. The offending items, the clothes and the lamps, were duly confiscated, as you have established. And the witness did not go and bring them back to her room herself.
Objection!
But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room. What? What? The entire fantastical world of Miss Scone created, every last bit of it, is all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room. Haha! No real-world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true, Bat? Yep, saw it with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes. Did we finally convince him? With her lies exposed like this, surely it can't continue to deny facts. Miss Scone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects.
No, dear, I'm no killer.
Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really? Why were you tampering with your rival's work?
Alright. The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it.
A pharmacist? Can't blame me for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. So what's so many in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one?
Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And Sammy Purple sweets are the best, so... Or so they say, I just had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the final.
Even Mr. Von Karma is lost for words.
That's it? That's the only reason you're here? Yes, dear, it was worth it. Sammy's silly pants sweeties are the tastiest sweets I ever did eat.
And the finger marks. Were you the one wearing the gloves?
No, that wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves.
Remember, Miss Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere on Mr. Tangaroa's other creations. I'd say that points to her not having worn any gloves.
Exactly, Lambkin. Greg Baglet's got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman.
Is your head filled with cream, too?
Sorry, mannequins.
Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Scone, when Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled?
No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tipped it over to Jelly Winks' room for a little taste, too.
You were in the victim's room, too?
Yes, dear. Nobody's what's in there, you see.
Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead.
But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits after deciding to cleanse my palate.
You have quite a sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scone? Indeed, what didn't you sample?
That's everything, I promise. Greggy Bagels, mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things.
As long as what you told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end. Do not think for a second that this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Von Karma, please, let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we've been allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusions. Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to continue your investigation.
we'd like to accompany you all the same.
December 24th, 9 p.m. Contest venue Frost's room. What in the... What is the meaning of this?
Oh my god.
They let it all melt.
We got the Frost room. We saw nada. It was all gone. A whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden in a chocolate chest. A murder weapon moved mysteriously to another room. This case was a real peach. It was going to take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all.
To be continued!
Oh my god.
Ah! We did it!
Shall we continue? The middle. I have a feeling this case is going to be really long. And we're close to 4 hours anyway. I'm not taking the risk today, I think. Nah, I'm not taking the risk today. I'm also pretty tired. I need some food.
So we're gonna cut it for today. Thank you very much for everyone who reached out and came by. Also, is Rance still live yet? I want to see if Rance is still live yet. Let me see. He's still alive! Oh my god! Okay. Oh my god, the most ironic thing ever. Okay. Then, by the power vested in me, we shall rate Rance because it's his affiliate anniversary, and he deserves it. And it's also really funny, because I was there when it started, and now I shall rate again. You think I wasn't gonna be back? Yeah, let's rate him. Let's go. Raid. Rance triple S. Right? Yes, right. Rance triple S. Okay. So, before we raid Rance, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We will have to catch up on a lot of cases. Jeez. There are 5 cases, I think. So, we're only on number 3. This is gonna be very busy couple weeks. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. It's time for the raid. 3, 2, 1, go. And yes! It's like only 2 viewers. Well, let's go. Peace.